Mics are hot. It's 7:30. All right. Hello, everybody. Should open up Twitch so I can see what this chat looks like. How's it going, people? Say hello to me.
Hello.
And hello to Isaac. And hello to Chris, our lovely guest today. Due to, everything going on and the actual Weirdcast guys being on yesterday, we had to get some flavored people in here so that I'm not just talking on stream for 2 hours, though I did offer it to them. You're right, it's not Joe. He might be on later. Don't worry, guys. Welcome. We are DaWeirdcast back with part 2 of our Lonestar GT review. I'm Eli. Apparently, I'm not Joe, so it's a review B team. I'm currently painting a Doom wheel while we talk shit about destruction and chaos lists. Like I said, with me are Isaac and Chris Schelling, one of the Weird Knobs, and then one of the Harambe's heroes. The audio is quiet. I can fix that.
Yeah, you were a little quiet, Eli.
I'm low. How dare I? Let's fix this. Video voice.
But yeah, it's nice to be here, invading the Weirdcast.
How's this? This is getting better. Let's try this. How does this feel, guys?
Good.
Is this better?
Yeah, I can hear you better.
Sweet. Turns out my input was at 80% and not 100%. All right, we got 27 people in the chat. Let's go ahead and just get started. Let's get right into it. We're starting off with destruction, saving the good old chaos for last. Our first list today is Abe Paterka's Ogre Maw Tribes list. He's running a gold Meat Fist list, which means he just wants to run it down. Meat Fist takes the Ogre rule that they do mortals on the charge and says those dice that you roll, let's make it one more. So instead of on 5s to do mortals, it's on 4s to do mortals.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
for the little guys on foot. Yeah, it'll be 4s. It'll be 5s for the heroes, and it'll be 3s for it'll still be 4s for the Stonehorn.
Yeah, because it's not a hero Stonehorn. Right.
But
yeah, it's also not a Gutbuster.
That's
so
right.
Doesn't get
Gutbusters
the +1.
Yep. So this is the first of many Meat Fist lists we're gonna see, I think.
Is Meat Fist the most popular faction we have?
For ogres, I think so.
Interesting.
Also, like Abe's list doesn't look exactly like a lot of the other Meat Fist lists you see, but once you see it in person, you'll realize why he's bringing what he's bringing. His armies, it's a beautifully converted Monty Python themed ogre army. I don't know if
this is that list.
Yeah, this is that army.
Okay.
This is the one that won best painted at Hammerfest last year.
This is amazing. I was about to be like, this is not what I'm used to seeing with Meat Fist. But yes, Chris, you're completely right. All of these unit choices are thematic. I don't even really care to look at what the specifics of the list are anymore. I just am here to now tell you, everybody, audience, if you're going to be in Dallas this weekend, go check out this army because it's phenomenal.
Yeah. It's a sight to see. Very, very well painted and converted.
It's just a bunch of ogres. We got a Stonehorn, we got an Iron Blaster, we got Mournfang. It's a smattering mishmash of things. This list isn't like tailored toward any specific goal. But goddamn, is it going to look cool? All right. Any other comments on this? It's ogres. I think
Yeah,
at this
it's
point we all
fairly
know what ogres do.
straightforward.
They run it down.
He's gonna cast a spell at the start of his turn, and then he's gonna walk toward you and charge you or shoot you, and
Yeah, the only thing that's a little different that you don't normally see is Whirlwind, which is the AoE for the Power Belly, but that's within 12. So if he gets you within 12, that's a 4+ per unit. or 4+ per model in a unit, so that's different. But aside from that,
It's not bad.
To be honest, I had no idea what that spell was until right now. All right, let's go ahead and move on then. From our first ogres list to our first gets list, we have Alec Anders. Looks like he's running a pretty much stock Boingrot Bounders list. He wants squigs. He wants them to run hard and fast. And he's playing King's Gets to hopefully just get that extra revive. I guess he felt like his revive rolls weren't that good. So he decided not to go Jaws of Mork for the extra attacks and just go for, re-rolling his regen.
Yeah, I think we've been told that Alec is a 10-year-old player, 10 or 11.
10?
He's from Wichita, according to the chat.
Hell yeah.
And this is a pretty good list for him to play too. It's gonna be fairly straightforward and very resilient. The choice of Chasing the Moon Grand strategy with the Dankhold General Trog boss is probably the safest Grand strat play in the book.
especially since it has
three-
the goalie, how's it for the 4-up?
Yeah. For the 4-up ward, and he gets to take the Mork's Mighty Mushroom spell for free. So maybe not the. I always prefer the Scuttle Tide when I play an army like this, but the mushroom's a fun spell.
I respect anybody who
And you
brings
get it spell for free, so like
why not, right?
why not? The 3 units of bounty is going to hit you real hard, and he's got the Snarlfang Riders and Ripless Snarlfangs. Picks you don't see it very often. These
I like
little
those
units
picks.
are fast. They redeploy like skinks. So like they're just annoying little units that are going to score tactics or get in your way, and they will also come back from the Loonshrine. So
Yeah, fantastic picks to surround and destroy while you have 30 bounders just running down your throat.
30 bounders are going to come back, and you're going to have 15 more to deal with after that 30.
I like this list. Alec knows exactly what he's about, and he's going to let you know it too. This is really fun.
yeah,
I don't really think there's that much else to say about this. It's pretty much as soon as you see 3 units of reinforced Boingrot Bounders, like the list is itself right there.
yeah. I mean that's destruction for you, right? We could cruise through this whole Grand Faction in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a solid list.
Okay. I have been told by the man in the ear. Let's talk about the $50 giveaway. So, as those of you who have watched the stream before, you know that Joe and Jeff and them have a shop called BattleWorks. Battleworks.com. That's with an E, not an O for BattleWorks. Everybody who participates in the chat today is going to be eligible to receive a $50, essentially a gift card. I don't know if it's going to be a physical gift card or a code or what, but a $50 gift card to the shop to get all your movement tray and or game aid needs.
Yeah, I just ordered some sticks from y'all the other day. I'm gonna need a lot of 9-inch sticks for my army.
They're pretty awesome. I don't have the tray on my desk like I did before, otherwise I'd show them off. I've also been told that retroactively applies to yesterday's stream as well. So if you chat yesterday, you chat today, boom, you get 2 chances at a $50 gift card. Sweet. All right, can we move on? Chairgrot. Army number 3. Good old friend of mine. This is Alex Gonzalez out of Houston, Texas. Half of what we fondly call Gonzo Gaming. Also bringing a Keen's Gets list. Except he's not doing the squig variety. He's doing the trog variety, which I know, Chris, you know a little bit about trogs.
Oh yeah, Alex messages me often about tosses ideas about trogs off the wall at me. He's been playing variations on this for a while. He did his first 3-0 at an RTT last month with this list. Yeah, it was great. Same grand strategy.
In the list though?
I think so. I think he had Trug and then he moved away from
Gonzo, why is
Trug.
there no trug? If you're in the chat, I need to know why you decided to wimp out and not bring the trug.
Trug has problems sometimes. Sometimes Trug just gets stuck.
That makes sense. Why have trug when you can have like basically 6 more rock guts.
Yeah, you get 6 rock guts. They'll come back from the dead, unlike Chug. But yeah, he's got King's Gift chasing the moon, like the last one. But and he's got the Scuttle Tide as his free spell for Loonskin, and
The
also the
biggest
Glowy
pain in
has
the
it.
ass spell you ever know.
The 4-4 on the general, gonna stay alive the whole game unless you put way too much effort into trying to kill it.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's got some trolls. He
100%.
was opting for some MSU, Felwars, and Rock Guts. It's always tempting to bring the big old 9 block, but you like having the just the 3 sometime to go off and handle things.
The 9 block feels like it's too much invested in one unit, and spreading out into like double 6 feels a lot better.
especially with
Especially
six,
for a unit as slow as they are.
especially with 6 being able to only be with one of each other now. It feels so much more comfortable having them in 6s than 9s.
Yeah.
That's true. The coherency really helps. I like Alex's support crew that he's got here. He's got this. He's got the extra stabbas to hold objectives from far away. He's got a Sloggoth for the +1s. He's got the fanatics to kind of do all this extra stuff that helps support the Troggoth bomb instead of just get more Trogs.
Yeah, the Sluggoth goes hand in hand with playing the smaller units of trolls. That way, you more efficiently giving out +1 to hit. You aren't relying on just all-out attack. Yeah,
Though all
it's
out
a,
attack is
it's a
Yeah,
great
nice
that makes
list.
because they
sense.
get an extra attack when they do it, right? Not just +1 to hit.
Yeah.
Now that's efficiency.
It also Marshmallow Sluggoth also helps when you face off against like armies like OBR that can give you -1 to hit, because trolls with
Gamble,
-1 to hit are pretty sad. But yeah, that's a great list. He's gonna have 5 Loonfesters fanatics hiding in the Moon Clan Stabas.
He keeps joking that he's going to go like 0-5. I want him to go 5-0. I'm for you, Andy. For Alex. Sorry, I called you by your brother. Now I'm embarrassed. And now we're going to move on to the most narrative list of them all. I don't even know if I need to actually say anything about this list. It's the big hillbilly himself. He's been
Oh
spouting out
boy.
that he has the most narrative list of them all, and I can tell you what the narrative list. The narrative is trash. This man is absolute garbage. Just like the food, he's no longer allowed to feed himself. For those of you that don't understand the joke, he is Cruel Boys, who have the I believe it's the 3rd worst win rate at the moment. Technically.
Um, technically, but they also have had their share of high finishes
Yes.
in some tournaments. I think played well. They can do pretty well. They got battle tactic help from the battle scrolls, and they
Point
eventually lowered
drops and battle tactic helps go a long way.
and for the amount of points they pay, they get so many wounds of
So
gut
many.
rippers.
Yeah, do not take a block of 20 gut rippers lightly. That is 40 wounds that are much more resilient than they appear. And by God, if you know how to roll 5s and 6s, are they going to destroy your whole army?
And then he's got those 2 kill bows, nice little
got
80-point treats in there to scare off any Gargants that get too close.
Yeah, this was I played against Brian a couple weeks back, and it was a very, very fun game where everything was dead by the bottom of 2. Straight up, the game was over
Yeah.
in a round and a half. It was hilarious. We just did so much damage to each other. And the game was over, and he won because he had the last units. So yeah, for anyone who hasn't been playing the game, Cruel Boys just roll 6s and do a bunch of mortal wounds. They don't really do that much else except exist on the board. Their spells can do a lot of debuff stuff. Choking Miss can make you like what? That's the -1 to attack spell?
Choking Mist
Or is Miss
is
the -1 to hit spell?
I
I
think it's a
think
-1 to
Choking Mist
charge.
is -1 to attacks. The War Scroll spell is the +1 to charge and -1 to charge for your opponent. But Choking Mist might be the -1 attacks bubble that they
They
put
have a
down.
spell that makes it harder for you to charge things and makes them better. They have a spell that makes you like more feeble in combat, and then you're taking 40 spears that are just going to hopefully do 6s, and each 6 does 2 mortal wounds.
Yeah, James confirming that the choking mist is the spell I was thinking of. -1 attacks and no runs.
-1 attack. Oh, it does no run too.
Yeah,
This is why I kill Gobsprack top of 1 like every time I see him. He's just not allowed to exist.
I will say Godsprock is an important part of this too. In the current meta too, it severely can hamper enemy casting if Godsprock is in position to just go, here, you're taking mortals because you casted.
yeah. Gobsprack
And,
versus a Slan is a fun fight to watch. Just Eli knows about that. Yeah,
it's very, very silly. Either one wizard dominates the other. Either he just takes a bunch of like D3s and Gobsprack is feeble, or Gobsprack unbinds everything with at least 3 dice, and suddenly you're taking a bunch of D6 mortal wounds back. Something dies very quickly. Nah, I agree with Isaac. Gobsprack and the Sludge Raker are like the key force multiplier focuses of the list, and they exist to to turn everything else in the list up to 11.
Yeah, and you're not killing the sludge Joker easily, especially with
Not with Egomaniac.
yep, especially with Omega being there.
and Smellion, which makes him -1 to hit if he didn't charge.
Yep.
So
The
I
Sludge
don't know if
Raker
we
is
mentioned that he's
impossible to kill.
grading blades, so you're not shooting him off the table
Which
unless you get too close.
That's true. Grinning blades meaning invisible outside 12 inches. Just straight up. That's not to like just shooting attacks. It's not to just it's everything.
Yep.
Those spells that you have at 30-inch range, nah, 12. That's it. That's how the list works. He's gonna force you to come into it, and once he does, he's gonna make it very hard for you to kill him and very easy for you to die. They also have a spell to turn off hex, to turn off wards, and they have a spell that Gobsprack basically can just move wherever the hell that he wants.
Yeah, and that killer boss on Nash too, who keeps going down on points. 110 for that guy.
He's
It's just
110?
he's
He's
110 now.
110
I
now,
didn't even notice it.
Mounted hero for 110.
and
He's
he does
just way
he does a lot for them too.
It's a 3-up save too, isn't he?
Uh,
I'm pretty sure
4 up,
he's
I
the
thought.
3-up because the foot guy could be 4-up or a 3-up. I think he's just a 3-up base. That's nuts. He's a 9 wound or 10 wound mounted hero for 110 that stops your battle shock. I guess we got to keep selling those Dominion boxes that are 3 years old.
All right. Maybe the chat's getting tired of us blowing smoke up Brian's butt.
All right, cool. Legitimately, this list is very good, and Brian is a huge contender to go 5-0 with it, and potentially win the whole thing. Do
All
not
right.
underestimate it if you are going up to face it, opponents, because it's going to hurt. All right, so we don't have to keep stroking Brian. It's ego. Let's jump down to our next ogre list. I bet you can get the try, people. It's Meat Fist, run by Chris and Menace. Except he's got a Frost Lord on Stonehorn, a bunch of Gluttons, a bunch of Iron Guts, and an Iron Blaster. Novlars, 1-drop Meat Fist ogres.
3-drop.
3-drop?
Because he's
Not
taking
I missed
acolytes.
the paint splatter on my screen, blocked out the Andorian Acolytes. 3 drops. Excuse me.
Yeah, Chris Jimenez. I think he's one of the Conroe players.
Oh, sweet.
He's been coming around with this list, getting some practice in the last couple months. Getting better with it. Yeah, it's just a solid list.
Yeah, this is a more traditional meat fist. A lot of gluttons, iron guts, and then heroes to back them up with power ability to give them -1 to hit, especially against shooting or in combat too. The Frost Lord to just kind of go wherever he wants, and Nobblers to be annoying.
Novels are annoying. That Stonehorn's going to be super hard to kill because it's -1 to wound all the time. It's got Arcane Tome, so it can give itself Mystic Shield all the time. It's got what, 15 wounds on a freaking 3-up, 5-up. Just so hard to kill.
Yeah.
And if it charges you, oh boy, is it going to hurt.
Yep, and then the Solid Master knows all the spells for
Yeah.
itself and Horror Frost. So if he puts out on the Iron Guts, make them better to hit or better to wound, oh, those are going to hurt.
Yeah. Hoarfrost on Gluttons or Iron Guts is just nuts. A lot of attacks, making them better in combat is just really good. Because most of the time they're just trying to clean up whatever they didn't kill with charge mortals.
Yeah.
Started third with ogres and finishing the edition with it, my man. Love someone who sticks to an army. That's what I'm talking about. Otherwise, not much else to say. List is good. List is solid. I don't want to face it. Stay away from me.
Yep.
Let's
I
go
think
ahead.
yeah. Move on. We'll see more meat fists in later.
We're gonna jump down to our first Gargant list. Not the peak Gargant list, but a Gargant list. It's Sons of Behemoth, it's Taker Tribe. It's got a Kraken Eater, War Stomper, Gatebreaker, and the Gitz Regiment.
Yeah. It's it's more or less the what I still think is the best Gargants list right now, which is your 3 favorite Mega Gargants and the Gitz Regiment. It kind of doesn't really matter which Mega Guardians. They're just there to be big and see objectives.
The
You
fact
got
that
a
you can
nice
just be
run charge.
whatever you want, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Brain
The
juice.
Kraken Eater isn't the most efficient for like doing damage, but he took very Inquisitive, which lets him take 2 artifacts on the guy. He took extra Callous Feet, which makes his stomping attack more consistent and better. And the Glowy Lantern, a very fun artifact that makes you a wizard that can only cast 1 spell, an endless spell. You can't cast Arcane Bolt or Mystic Shield, but it doubles the distance of your endless spell.
Oh, so that Jaws is just yeeting across the
Yeah,
battlefield.
3d6 times 2 distance for your Jaws. Now,
Okay, I'm
there is
all
a
for it.
fact that you don't get the 3d6 times 2 damage. It is still just the 3d6 minus your movement damage.
Yeah,
But,
that makes sense.
but still, that Jaws is in your deployment right away.
What,
I
on
love it.
average, that's going 30 inches the turn you cast it?
Yeah.
Love it. And then the Gatebreaker, it looks like it has Glowy Shield of Protectedness. Which one's that one? Is that the like reroll saves?
The
That's
Glowy Shield
the
changes Rend 1 to Rend 0, sort of
Oh,
like
God.
Eumetrica.
Okay.
Like the cows in Eumetrica. And then it also makes it so any 6s you roll to save bounce back on Mortal Wound in melee.
That's pretty good.
It's a pretty solid artifact. You usually see lately people tend to take the Amulet of Destiny over it just because of Mortal Wounds like Blizzard. But
Yeah, makes sense.
Glowy Shield's always been solid.
Yeah, without Blizzard, Glowy Shield seems to probably win out over since it's a 6-up ward, not a 5-up ward like it was way back in the day. But otherwise, yeah, it's a Gargant list. It's going to move on to objectives. It's going to do some fun monsters rampages, and the Gits are going to do all the tactics.
Yeah, it's worth noting that the latest Battle Scroll made one of the Gargant monster rampages just a second roar now. So they have 2 3-up no command roars.
That's true. It's the earth-shaking roar, right? So it's
Yeah.
a no roar, and then you do like the bravery battle shock roll.
Yeah, it usually just be the battle shock roll for small models, and now it now it does both. Now it's a roar and it does the bravery thing.
It's so good. Why did GW do that?
Gargants just need the help. I've
Just
been saying it for.
I guess it's to not confuse newer players that go, "Well, it's a roar. It should stop commands." No,
But it's true.
stop it,
Gargant
people.
players might get confused. And just
Whatever.
all right.
Let's
We've
move on.
talked enough about Gargants. Yeah.
Let's talk more about Gargants. The bane of my existence over the last couple of months.
This one's this one from Constantine. King Broad Stomp, the Army of Renown. Your other this competitive option for playing Gargants right now. You don't get any battalions or any of the fun monster actions from the book, but you get to charge like an ogre, and you get to
And I
give
get
King
my
Broad a
pyramid
board.
removed from the board, Chris.
Oh yeah, you get to toss
Yeah.
Eli's pyramid at him.
You get to pick up people's terrain.
Super narrative terrain becomes a shooting attack, man.
Yeah, I hope this guy or one of the other King Broad Stomp players plays against Feck and just throws their barricade at them. But
Now that I would love to see.
um But so this one, he's got King Broad's. He's got King Broad as the general Big Eater. This is a little inefficient because the Army of Renown lets you take the command trait on any general, and King Broad is already a general, so he could have made one of his other Gargants a general, without changing anything. But
Oh, so you could give himself, so you can have 2 generals instead.
yeah, he's got Big Eater, which makes it so that any Gargants within 12 of Broad, including Broad himself, will heal D3 in the combat phase if they kill a model.
Yeah.
He's got the Vial of Manticore Venom to make that War Stomper's, 10 attack club wound on 2s, so he can get the 2s on 2s every combat.
Yeah,
And then
that makes sense.
another War Stomper with the Millstone icon because he needs to unbind spells. That's just
Look,
how
he's
it is
got
right
no
now.
wizard. You might as well.
Yeah.
Icon, real good.
And for some reason, the War Stomper, which is maybe one of the most efficient Gargants, went down 10 points in the last scroll, as did the Man Crusher. So now you can fit a whole Man Crusher in.
Where's James? Where's James' workshop? I need to go find him.
You have 5 models in this list now instead of 4, which is exciting.
Dang it. God dang it, Games Workshop.
This Man Crusher is probably just going to hold hands with Broad and give him a 5-up ward.
Oh, the Man Crusher can activate the 5-up ward too?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
any
it's
army.
just for
Yeah.
I thought it just had to be the biggins.
Nope.
No, the biggins are the only ones who can squad the tactics in the army, but anybody gives him the.
Okay, well that's cool. See, these Gargants now just also sit on objectives and then shoot you better. Or at least
Yeah.
one of them's going to shoot
Throw
you
your
better.
train
'Cause
at
I don't
you,
think
yeah.
the War Stomper has a shooting attack, right? He
No,
makes
none of these
have a
guys
shooting attack?
the little has a shooting attack. The War Stomper and the War Stomper army, which we'll see later, in a certain army, can make it 2 attacks, but he's gonna have 1 base shooting attack from the Man Crusher, and he will try to throw some train at you.
Does Broad have a shooting attack?
Nope.
Oh, so literally apart from the little baby, the only shooting attack is just big terrain.
Yep.
Okay, so it's
The
not as
only.
nasty. I'm used to facing like 2 gate breakers and Broad and just getting my butt kicked before I could do anything.
Yep.
With that, let's move on to not Gargants. A fellow ape, Devin Courtney, bringing back his basically 85 synthesis techno Orc War Clans.
Yeah, the Synthwave Big Wall.
Thank you. That's the genre. I'm a
Um,
little disappointed because I know he's been working on Beach Rats, and he didn't bring those to Lone Star.
He's this list it looks good. Big Wall lists all tend to look the same to me, just because it's just a pick and choose the best stuff from that book.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a look. He's got a War God Prophet. Check. He's got glowing tattoos. Check. He's got
Godsprack.
he's got Cosfrag. Hey, look at that. Check number 2. Does he have a Weird Off Shaman?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
look at that. Hand of Gork. And then he's just got all his favorite Iron Jaws and or Crew Boys battle line.
It's just all Iron Jaws, it looks like.
All Iron Jaws. This list makes sense.
Yeah, this is just an Iron Jaws army, but with 2 other models in it from the rest of the book.
And better Iron Jaws buffs than Iron Jaws gives you.
Yep.
Wad points are really good. Very efficiently getting +1 to hit and wound essentially across your whole army is pretty solid.
Especially with their new unit Ragers, getting those +1 hit and wound makes the more missy attack very lethal very fast.
Yep. I think the only thing this list basically lost on the battle scroll is that it can't do sneak up anymore because Gobsprak's not a War Master.
But he made Godfrey the general.
So he can do sneak up.
That's probably why he made Godfrey the general, so he could do
That
sneak
is
up.
in fact how that works. Well, if he does that, does it?
He can't
then
do
he
the
can't
Iron Jaws
do-
one though.
He can't do the Iron Jaws ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sneak up's better, so it makes sense to do Godsprack if you're focusing on that.
Yeah.
I agree. Sneak up is better. It's going to be more consistent because he's only got the 1 Cruel Boys unit. Even though I think this list, the way it's built, reliably could do the new Iron Jaws one as well, just because it has so many Iron Jaws units that having 2 in the center is pretty much constant. But I think you're going for
in
that
terms
basically
of
like, what's the one you're going to get 5 games? Sneak up.
Yeah, and just think in terms of like terrain too. If an opponent wins a terrain against you, they can deploy terrain in a way that you can't do that tactic. There's a big enough piece too. So it's just an annoying thing to not have to worry about and just take it with the cost back.
Yep. I love the comment that says no command trait, but the command traits suck, and that is correct. Who needs command traits that are bad? Just get a tactic instead. It's a good trade-off. I do like though that Devin is bringing the Wizard Finders of Andor now that it has the buff for the 5-up spell ignore.
Yep. Part of me kind of wishes he put that on the Gorgruntas instead of the Ragers. It looks like. I'm sorry, the Ard Boys. Looks
So
like he put it on the Ard Boys.
Yeah, it's because he put
Gorgers
the
can't go
gruntas.
in that battalion. No mounted unit can.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he has that's why he put the Gorgrunners in the Iron Jaw's fist.
Now, I do wish that the Ragers was in there, because Ragers have very low wounds and are very
Yeah.
susceptible to spell damage.
Yeah, they're basically they're 3 wounds apiece, right?
3 wounds apiece. So
Basically a
that's
smaller
8.
brute unit.
Yeah, it's like 18 wounds.
So many armies I need to learn. You will learn them in time. You just have to play more. All right. We talked Big Wog. In fact, I think the chat mentioned multiple times. This is the only Big Wog list here, because the other Big Wog list had to drop. Unfortunate.
Yeah, surprising to not see a more, considering it's considered one of the better armies in the meta right now. But
It's probably the best orc army.
I would
Probably.
agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. The next one looks pretty good. The next one, I like it.
The next one? What do we got? I see the name Dawn
The next
Chase,
one's good.
and
I
I
like it.
like that name. A very, very oh, okay. I see where we're going. I see where we're going. I need a sign. 2 words, ladies and gents. Big pig. With not 1, not 2, but 3 Mogrunta gouges.
And a Tusk Boss.
And he's got Tusk Boss.
4 big pigs.
4 big pigs. And a rabble rouser to help out with
Yeah,
with
he
tactics.
probably didn't have enough
I like the
not enough points for the whole Rabble Rouser battalion, but since Rabble Rouser is a Gits unit, he can just take him as an ally.
Yep.
And I like that. He's cheap, he's survivable because he has a 4-up ward, and
Oh wait, they're reinforced. It's 7 big pigs.
Wait, you can reinforce big pigs? No, you can't. Can
Can't
you?
you?
What?
The baby one.
Hold on. Now we gotta check the app. Now I gotta check the app because this might be my favorite list
Yeah.
ever.
If this is 7 big pigs, then
I want someone there to take a picture of this. If this is 7 big pigs.
It is in fact not single.
oh
It's
boy.
just battle line if the general is a Mogrunta.
All right.
So
This
that's
is in
7
fact-
big pigs.
All right, we can wrap it up, Chergod. This is it. We don't need to talk about any more lists. This is it for the night. I found
Yeah.
it. We found the peak Sigmar list.
Yeah, I forgot they got that cheap. You could do that.
7.
But I was gonna say the Rabble Rouser is great because like you can't. It's gonna be he's not gonna be able to like deep strike it behind his opponent. But what it's gonna help though is running and charging backwards if he needs to do that.
It's also gonna help him like not have to rely on momentum too in like
Yeah.
niche situations of can I run or do I have to just move?
No, but
That
this guy's gonna put 7 pigs on the table and he's just gonna run right into you.
Look, it's benefiting great. He's got from all the changes we see in the battle scrolls. The
Yeah,
Tusk Boss has the command traits and the artifacts that are normally reserved for just mega bosses. They can take them too. The 7 pigs not losing momentum at the end of every turn is going to be real nice if he can roll real hot on that. And he's got 2 war chanters, so 4 big pigs are going to be doing extra damage. I am very much a fan of this list, and I will be watching his career with interest. He's got Iron Suns. He's also going to be able to countercharge with everything.
Yeah, and he's got a 70-point triumph bid, so he'll have a free reroll
Nice.
on his charge. Yeah.
This list keeps getting better and better.
And of course, to get him beat, one of those pigs are going 3d6.
Yes. Ooh. Audio issues. That's a problem. Hey, yo.
Check again.
Hello.
Can everyone hear us? Is everything good, people? Better. Better. Still choppy. Okay. That's a problem. How's everyone going to hear us gloriously praise the might of Big Pig? If it's choppy. Oh, now it sounds great? Okay. All right. Yep, everyone says we are good now, so we are going to keep moving on. Roper Swope, I did see that you were 3 bigs away from the 11 pig list. I fully expect when you show up to Smash and Bash in April that you have 3 more pigs done. 100%.
It's not optional.
Not optional.
We have to see those pigs.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, we praised this list so much. I really don't think there's anything more we can say. This is the most run it down list I think I've ever seen, and I have seen 5 Stonehorn lists in both of the current and previous book. So if that's the case, let's move on.
Yep.
We've got 2 lists on 1 page.
Impressive.
Joe couldn't leave his own page to highlight. So we're starting with one of the most Chadliest lists in James, Germany, also from Houston, Texas.
What do you know? It's Meat Fist.
What do you know? It's Meat Fist
And Kragnos.
and Kragnos, but it's not Rocket Tyrants, it's Rocket Iron Guts.
Yeah, I think this list has a little bit more staying power than the Rocket Tyrants. It's not quite as like it's not gonna hit you as hard as with Mortal Wounds as Rocket Tyrants,
Right.
but the Iron Guts will tear you up in combat. So
Oh, yeah.
If Rocket Tyrants is the ogre analog to the old Grimwrath, 8 Grimwrath Berserkerless and Fire Slayers, this list is the analog to just running a bunch of Hearthguard Berserkers. Similar deal. Execute. I love it. It's single-minded focus.
That's great. He's gonna put his stuff on the table. He's gonna charge you. He'll be done with his game with half an hour, with an hour and a half to spare.
Mhm.
He dies or you die. That's about it.
He's going to charge everything. He's going to fight twice with everything, and either you're dead or he's dead. There's no options. I love it.
Yep.
And then on the same page, we could scroll up just a little bit. We have showman himself, Joe Karn, right? You saw him yesterday on the stream, everybody. Here is his Wheel of Hubris list, which the wheel was very kind to him because this is a very playable Gargant list.
It's the wheel. The Gargants is just a good wheel army. Is the deal?
It really is. Like, I should have been meaner. I should have forced everything to be random.
Depending
I'll let
on
it be.
depending on what you think of Gargants, everything's either a good choice or everything's a bad choice. So
The only thing we didn't get that I wanted was no broad stomp. That's what I wanted. Instead, we got no stomper drive.
I mean, it still kind of works. The Broad can issue the command to the Man Crusher to shoot more,
Yep.
but it's not gonna do much otherwise. But that's fine. The sub factions in Gargants already don't do a lot.
I mean,
They're mostly
all you need
meaningless.
is King Broad and 2 Gateburgers, and
You gave
it's
him the
fine.
best grand strategy, like maybe in the game right now. So this list is fine.
That's what I get for letting him choose his grand strat and his
Oh, you let him
charming.
choose the grand
I
strategy?
I was trying to be kind and be like, this is fine. He's gonna get some
You
weird
should have
stuff.
him.
I should have randomized it. I
Yeah.
was too kind.
I'll,
Next time he loses, it's gonna
the
be true
Gargant
random
grand
for him to
strategies
win.
are all pretty playable. You should have just randomized it.
Damn, that's what I get. That's what I get for not knowing the book as well as I should.
But no, this is fine. Like it might struggle with the turn 1 tactic sometimes just because it doesn't have a wizard. And the bull boys aren't fast enough to run up and get surround for you or something. But the like it's fine. Gargants love having little units in their army to get in the way or to stand on. Like if it's a 6 objective mission, he can have some bull boys on objective while the Gargants go off and try to kill things. Or
Once again, the kill bow can randomly kill something, so it's not like it does nothing.
yeah, and the regiment. If you don't know what that regiment does, if the kill bow does damage to a monster, the Manskewer bull boys get +1 attacks against that monster. So
The Gargant got the
yeah.
anti-Gargant battalion.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to mention this so that when Joe watches it back, he actually remembers the rule. The Regiment of Renown, you have to deploy all of those units within 6 inches of each other on the board, Joe.
Yeah.
You better play that correctly, or I'm going to hunt you down.
Not wholly within 6, so like it's not as
Yeah.
cramped as it sounds, but
Yeah, it's all in that original block that all had to be wholly within 6 of each other to sort.
yeah.
But
And
this one gets
the
around it.
the double triumph is fun. Although it would be sad for him if he got paired against Don, the Gougers guy, who
Yeah,
has
the Gougers guy.
playing
Who's
down 10
points
more.
lower.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
You can put the regiment in Big Wog. Yeah, I guess that's technically true because it's not a Cruel Boys list. Loopholes. We've talked enough about Gargants, and as much as I
Yep.
want to keep shitting on Joe, I'm not going to. Let's move on to a hometown guy from Dallas himself, Mr. Jonathan Schlesis, who's switching from the armies that I know him for, OBR and Doc, to Gits. I haven't even looked at the list, but I saw Jaws of Mork, so I know this is Squig heavy again.
Yeah, it's a very quick heavy list. He's got the grand strategy to protect the shrine, where he's got to keep the shrine not destroyed or thrown at him, and keep everyone out of 12 inches of it, which can be a little tough to do. But when you have this many squigs, you can just kind of surround it and like force your opponent to try to wade through all the squigs to get to it.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Is it double reinforce? Is it a 36 squig herd?
Yeah, so he's got a unit of 36 squig herd. He's got a unit of 15 bounders. He's got 40 stabbas. No, he got 20 shooters and 20 stabbas.
Press the button. More blobs.
Yes. He's got the sports spotter fanatics to give him all plus attacks.
And you can block line of sight for any of your back heroes if you need that too.
Fanatics.
And he's got that web center shaman with Blizzard who's going to hang out near the shrine. If you try to deny his grand strat, you're going to get a Blizzard right to your face. So, yeah, it's a solid army.
He did Harboring Moon, which is new.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, what's that do? What's the moon
The
do? I don't know what the spell
Moon.
does.
The Malevolent Moon, it does D3 damage if it runs into you, but it also makes moonlight like Scraggot does.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
So it's a way to like help run and charge on those squigs potentially.
Yeah. Within the squig list, it basically it's basically a run and charge spell in the squig list.
Nice.
He's got Wizard Finders. What's he got in Wizard Finders?
I see the
herd
Stabbas
and the herd.
and the herd.
That's
honestly,
good.
Yeah.
That seems really solid to put those in the Wizard Finder.
To stop someone like you from trying to cast a horde clearing spell on him. Yeah.
That's very, very true. That's
or like
if I was him, I'd do it too.
Yeah, Gravetides usually love running into squig herds and bounders and whatnot. So
if only I could fit those still.
But anyway,
10
yeah.
points short. Now this is pretty solid. Excited to see what Jonathan does with it.
Yeah, this kind of list has been Because this kind of list has been good since the book came out, and
Yep.
it not stopped being good.
Nope. Isaac, I don't know if you're paying attention to chat, but someone did just ask if your Bundo is going to make it to the review because you're basically a destruction player with how much you shove him in your order list.
He's not gonna make it in this review. I will bring
Unfortunately,
Bundle out again soon.
unfortunately, you could not come up this year.
I cannot. But don't worry,
Eh.
people will get Marathi and Bundle back soon.
Okay, hear me out, Isaac. Bundo and Vexlers.
Ooh.
All right, I'm leaving. I'm done.
Okay, okay,
I'm done.
okay. Bundle's just so good. There's no reason not to take him.
Yes, bullshit bandit times 2 indomitable. Where have you been? This has been a Git staple forever.
It's interesting that he's doing that with 1970 points.
It's definitely a risk.
Yeah.
There's a few really low point total for huge triumph bits.
Yeah, I'm surprised with he didn't go for the second artifact on that. He's a good bonus casting artifact you can put on that web spinner, or
Yeah.
or just anything like an arcane tome or something on this big boss. But
It still works.
maybe
If
he
you
just
get
likes
if you
gamble.
get that triumph, it's gonna really help.
yeah,
Especially
no,
with
if
his
he does
big
get the
hurt.
triumph, it's gonna be great.
It's super, super good. Bundo Bomb. Dang, the list has a great nickname. All right, let's move on to our shortest
all right,
list.
Chris. We're gonna work together after this and make Bundle Bomb.
God. This is going to be awful. I'm not ready for the next tournament. All right, moving on. We have Joseph Alberter, who took the shortest list you could make and made it literally as small as possible. It's Gargants. It's Broad Stomp. It's got Broad, 2 Gatebreakers, and a War Stomper.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the best version. This is a list I was playing when I was playing Broad Stomp last year.
The only
It doesn't
thing
have the arcane tome, but that having that new battle tactic instead might make up for it.
What's the Lucky Shining Hat?
That is a 5-up
that-
ward against mortal wounds.
Oh, that's that one. Yeah. I had
It's
no
okay.
idea.
you give 2 5-up wards, and yeah, it hurts. It's hard to get through.
There's a lot of matchups where it doesn't do much, but then you play against Eli and that Gargant's not gonna die. So
It won't die, but I'm also going to throw a Bastillodon into it and make it not do anything either. Get Unforged.
he's gonna roll a 4-up and do 46 mortal wounds to that Bastillodon. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. Or he's going to roll hot like you do with your icon every against me. I'm going to unbind 3 of your spells in 1 turn. God damn it.
Yeah. All right, that's probably enough. Enough for
Gargants.
this.
Are there any more
Gargant
Gargants?
list, yeah.
I think we're just
I
going to
think
skip
so.
the rest of the Gargants list. Next up, we got JTJ, fresh out of Houston with his John Cena and the Wrecking Crew list, running back the
not
Underguts.
Mefiest.
Yeah,
Underguts.
this is JT going back to his old Underguts. He used to play a lot. He was playing KO a lot lately here, but I guess he decided to go back down to the ground. Get the meat's back on the menu, I guess.
So, I do like the old school. I respect for the old school list building style. He did include his Mortal Realm.
Yes,
Hasn't been relevant for 3
it's
years,
important.
but
Yeah,
saying that they're from Ulgu. Good.
but it's straightforward, but in a different way than the Mephis list, because this one's going to march up the table and blast you.
And blast you.
People kind of forgot about Iron Blasters when they changed Lookout Sir to make it so harder to shoot little heroes from far away, but he can still shoot your monsters.
Everybody, they're still good.
They still do a ton
Iron
of
Blasters
damage.
still do a lot of damage.
They're still Ren 3, like
At like a
D3 plus 3
30
damage. Yeah.
threat range. It's okay.
Yeah, you aren't escaping it, and they're gonna be -1 to hit because of the Fire Belly. So
And they're gonna get +1 to hit on all your heroes and monsters because of the trophy rack. This is like list is exactly what I was running on TTS when the book
And
dropped.
you think
Yeah.
if you want to get close to it to to threaten it. He's gonna cast Overcloud Stench.
Yeah, make the monsters and charge
Make
you,
them,
do
yeah,
more
charge you,
wounds.
do a bunch of mortal wounds, and roar you and stomp you, and it's just,
This castle is just going to be a butcher and a fire belly, and then 4 iron blasters. The rest of it's going to move forward until you get close, and then it's going to strike. And he's got a blood pelt hunter, which basically is just going to run around the board, not being visible, and shoot you down. If I remember correctly.
yeah.
Yep.
But no, it's solid. Like I don't think the Iron Blasters stopped being bad. They
Oh man,
just
Love is right. He should have taken the trickster's foil to reroll once to hit. If only he could. Yeah, Versalti, you haven't run your fat boys out in a while. I don't know if you know these guys as well as you thought you used to. You should just bring those out instead of these narrative cruel boys.
Yeah, he probably won't remember how to play them. So
Yeah, not at all.
For boys.
yeah.
He's just gonna screw it up. He's not gonna do well at all. All right, next up we've got Kevin Dugan, double G-N, running an Iron Jaws list. It's a Bloodtooth list. I don't need to even go over what's in the list. I can tell you it's just Gore Grunters. He's probably got one big pig now because you could fit it.
Yes,
And
he's
his
got one
goal is
big
to just-
pig. He's got looks like 12 Gorgruntas.
And he has the big pig with the guys on the side. Is that the guys on the side?
No,
that
that's
is
that's the base one.
That's the base one.
And he does also have a big pig here, the test boss.
Oh, hey, that's awesome.
With Fasten, that guy's going places.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so test boss instead of the normal cabbage.
Makes sense. A little bit more points efficient. Gonna do a similar output. Not gonna be as tanky, but that's okay. He's got War Chanter with Arcane Tome, fix and beat. Just way to get like Mystic Shield out because that shaman's got Shaman of the Chilled Lands. And a teleport spell. Just really flexible shaman with an Ard Boy wall so that hopefully it doesn't die.
Yep. It works. He's gonna run across the table. Yeah. A bunch of pigs, small and big, are gonna get you.
All right. Let's scroll down. All right, we've got Larry Denark. It's Gargans. But it's got a bunch of little boys.
Now this list won the Alliance Open in Denmark, Amsterdam, Netherlands, I think, last weekend.
Oh. This is the same list?
I think so. The artifact or enhancements might be a little different, but it's the same list: Broad, Gatebreaker, War Stomper, and 4 Man Crushers that you can now fit in there. And yeah, it's solid. The little Man Crushers do enough that you can't totally ignore them, and 2 of them will run up the side of the table so you can get surrounded to destroy. One of them will hang out with Broad, even 5 of Ward.
Yeah.
And they're gonna stand on objectives and throw stuff at you.
Army's fast enough to do surround and destroy turn 1. That makes sense.
Yep.
Cool.
I think we said enough. Yep.
We don't need to talk about them anymore. Now we've got Marco, a local boy and an Austin boy who hasn't shown his face around in a while. I'm very much looking forward to seeing him again. He's bringing back his good old classic Iron Jaws. Is also Bloodtooth. He's got a Mega Boss on Maw Crusher and a bunch of pigs. But he also has 10 brutes because he's a man of culture. Love me a big brute.
Yeah, this is your traditional Maw Crusher and pigs list.
Yep.
The actual traditional list.
We've been playing, seeing this on tables for years.
Especially from him, for those of us that have been around long enough. This is what we know Marco for. Those Gits lists, those were just a foray. He is an Iron Jaws man through and through.
Yep.
I love double Iron Jaws Fist, the Acolytes, and the Warlord. This man does not care about going first or second. He is getting as much value as possible.
Yeah, you make him go first, he's going to get an extra primal dice and put a bunch of orcs 9 inches away from you, and then Mighty destroyers them, or 12 away from you, and then Mighty destroys you. Yeah.
Now,
The Mire
excuse-
destroys them, so they're like
3-inch.
3 or 4 away from you. Yeah.
Yeah.
now, while you guys move on to the next list, is Marcus Miller. It's not going to take that long, but I have a whiny puppy that probably needs to go outside, so I'm going to dip for about 30 seconds. Hold on, folks. I promise I'll be back.
All right. This looks familiar.
Yeah, I think we've seen it similar before.
Yep. Almost exact same list we saw earlier for 4 mega broad stomp, but with the Amulet of Destiny instead of the shiny hat.
Yeah, for that ward that you were talking
You
about
take the
earlier.
6-up ward against everything instead of a 5-up ward against mortals. Yeah, not all to say. It's 4 big megas. Deal with it.
Oh, this is Marcus's list, isn't he? I believe he's doing one per. He's theming them one per Grand Alliance as well.
1 per army in death.
Oh, never mind. I had it backwards. That makes more sense given that it's Marcus. Still a really cool hobby project.
Yeah, I've seen. I saw them next to me at LVO, and they all looked really good.
His OBR themed one, I believe it was just like the best model across all of the painting at Warzone, the whole convention that Hammerfest is at.
Yep.
Yep.
Looks really neat. I assumed that 30 seconds that I was gone was all the time we needed to go over the list, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Moving on, we've got Nate.
Yeah.
We're not going
back
to need to talk about this list that much. It is a Bloodtooth list. He's got pigs and he's got a big pig.
Yeah, that's 15 brutes. That's kind of only.
Yeah, it was similar to Marco's list, except he opted for more brutes. He opted for the big pig instead of foot heroes like Marco had. Otherwise,
But
pretty similar.
yeah, he put
He's got the
himself
war
in
chanters. He
one.
just has no magic.
Put
Yeah.
himself in a 1-drop, so that's really about it.
Going specifically for the one drop variety. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
he's been playing this at local RTTs and just first turn charging you every time.
Hell
So,
yeah.
Love it.
Hell yeah. Love a man who knows what he's about.
Cool.
Moving on. We've got Nick Wilson. Why are there so many Gargant players? Stop it.
okay, they needed so much help. They got some love in the battle scroll, and
Please, I beg of you.
Everyone's
People,
bringing them
please,
out.
please, there are riches in your brain. I know y'all can use them.
this is more old school Gargan's list, if you will. Just Stomper Tribe. This is what a real Stomper Tribe list is supposed to look like, for reference.
Come on, Joe.
So he's gonna be doing extra damage against hordes, and he's just 3 megas, 4 babies. He might struggle a little bit with the first turn battle tactic on a mission like Power Flux if he has to go first, but otherwise it'll do well. The new battle tactic for the Nullstone Dormant is going to help make up for the fact that he's not playing Broad Stomp and doesn't have access to their tactics.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
But in return,
Move
he
on
gets
to
to play
circle.
the good grand strategy. So yeah.
I hope all of you Gargant players fight each other in the tournament. And unironically, I hope Joe has 5 Gargant mirrors. It's what he deserves for his hubris. All right, moving on. We've got Preston Rhodes playing ogres, and once again, would you look at it? It's Meat Fist. Except he's got a Slaughter Master.
He's got a Slaughter Master, he's got a Frost Lord, he's got Iron Guts and Gluttons, and an Iron Blaster. He's got a little bit of everything. He's got a Gorger Mob Pack, which is a fun choice in Meat Fist.
Yep. Be able to
Very
turn off
fun.
your opponent's commands on a 5-up, deep strike, keep them where your ogres normally can't. It's a good pick.
Very, very fun.
The Baron Ice Escape Grand Strategy is a little offbeat for ogres. They have they have a decent one in their book, but taking Baron Ice Escape is just signaling to your opponent that you're going to table them.
they're just telling the message straight up.
He didn't take any
Yeah.
battalions. It looks like I don't know if he wants to try to get that fixed or if he just doesn't care. So
He may not care. If you meant to include battalions, Preston, please be sure you reach out to Matt Taylor. I don't know if he'll let you fix that, but
Yeah, because that could
yeah,
definitely be a one drop. So I'm
it
assuming that's what
definitely,
he's
Yeah.
assuming
it
that's what he's going for.
it
Yeah.
seems like a list where he was kind of intending on doing the battle regiment. Like it's exactly that kind of configuration. Cool. Although there's an artifact here I actually don't understand. What is the seat of Alvigar?
I don't
Anybody know?
recall.
Anybody know? That's a couple words that I'm not used to seeing together in a string of sentences like that.
Speed of Avagr is once per battle, he can do 2 monstrous actions.
Oh hell yeah.
Cool.
That's neat.
So he can charge over you and then roar wherever he charges.
Seems to work great to me. Moving on. As is usual with destruction, you end up saying a lot of the same stuff over and over again. We now have Randy with his exotic meats from around the world list running once again a Meat Fist Ogre Maw Tribes list. Now he is used to running Rocket Tyrants. That's what he's been running for months now. He decided to switch for some reason and run more other stuff. Now I have to decipher his list because he has put a lot of stuff that's not
Really, I think you can just scroll up
relevant.
and look at Preston's list because it's pretty similar and it doesn't have all this nonsense.
Let's say
Um,
Firebelly, Slaughtermaster, Stonehorn, Gluttons, Iron Guts, Gortamal Pack, and Noblars,
And an
but
Iron
also an Iron
Blaster.
Blaster as well. I think Preston also has an Iron Blaster. He does have an Iron Blaster as well. Yep.
Yeah, it's just most of the over good stuff with Gorgeous and Deep Strike and Triumph Awards
I think Randy just wanted
or
something different.
commands.
And you know what? Sometimes you just need a different kind of meat.
yeah, it's just a solid list.
Yeah.
All the good stuff. If you put the right tools in the right place, it'll serve you well. But yeah.
Cool. We're going to move on. Now we've got Rick running another Gits list. Are you a mad lad? Did you run spiders? No spiders. Every day I wish for spiders and I don't get them.
Shameful.
Instead, we get more squigs.
Yeah, this is a change up for him because I know he usually was running drugs.
Who's running
Yeah,
Trog? It
Rick
seems like
Rick
he's
used
been
to run
running
more.
Trog
Rick used to run more trogs, and lately he shifted to Boingrots this week's.
with some Trog support, it looks like. Because he's still got a Rock Guts and Fellwater.
Yeah, still got the
Yeah.
Rockets and Fellwires because they're still tanky,
Still solid.
beefy units, and with the Clammy Hand and King's Gits, he'll have two re-rolling chances of bringing back a unit per turn. So, uh,
Ah.
um,
What's the staff do?
the Staff of Steaky Sealing, it gives you a bonus to unbinding, and then every time you unbind a spell, it gives you +1 to cast for the rest of the game.
Nice.
Does that stack?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Yeah.
As
Oh
soon as you
no. So
said
it
it, I was
adds
like,
one
I
to his
remember this.
yeah. It adds one to his casting rolls, and then so straight up he already gets +1 to cast, and then every time he unbinds a spell, he'll get +1 to cast for the rest of the game. So
That's awesome. I love it. It's very fun. I noticed those rock guts are reinforced, so that's a pretty good anchor to back his aggressive wall of 25 point grots.
yeah.
Yeah. Fellwater's in there just to give the -1 no positive save or no positive modifiers.
Oh yeah,
A nice little touch too.
makes sense. Fellwater's fantastic support unit for things that want to go in and kill things.
Yeah.
Love Fellwaters.
With acolytes and putting Blizzard on both wizards, really is gonna punish you for getting too close to his shrine too.
Oh
So,
yeah.
Oh yeah. Especially if that south pops off, getting a +3, +4.
With
yeah.
the acolytes and the extra
With
primal
acolytes,
dice,
yeah.
he's gonna cast blizzards on like averaging 20 to cast. Had an opponent get +7 to dispel. Oh man,
Oh yeah,
that's
because
some good stuff.
now you can give that shaman a extra unbind too.
Yeah,
If
if
you
you're going
decide,
second, make the
Yeah.
shaman the locust, and
yeah, so
yeah.
each unbind. Nice.
It makes me happy. Very much. Otherwise, it's all the same Git stuff that we've been seeing. So with that, we're going to move on to once again another meat fist list. Except we're
This is.
finally seeing
Yeah,
the meme.
we brought up rocket tyrants a few times now, and here it is.
I feel like we've gone full circle for Meat Fist.
We have,
Yeah.
yes, we've gone full circle.
He's got 4 tyrants in brawler guts. He didn't mark one of them as brawler guts, but I'm assuming it's
but
brawler guts.
Yeah.
it's brawler guts.
So he's doing mortal wounds on 3 up for every for his charge total on 3d6, and then you got a little bit of shooting just because those are your cheapest battle line, the lead
Yep.
belchers, and
Yeah. No,
It's got
Bart's
Yeah.
pretty
Cruising Trophy
annoying.
Rack. I love it.
Aside from that, yep.
He's gonna get completely in your face as well. And then hopefully his whole army has +1 to hit on all your heroes and monsters. Yeah. This is very fun. This is a very nasty list in the hands of a experienced pilot. I would know. I have faced this from Randy for the better parts of the last 7 months he's been
Yeah.
running this. He can tell me, he's in the chat.
All those tyrants are gonna punch way above their weight. So
Oh yeah. 9 months. God, it's really been 9 months. It feels like torture. You could have had a baby in that time, in the amount of time that's been torture.
but yeah.
And with that,
Uh,
thank the Lord. That's the end of destruction. Of seeing the same four lists 27 times.
we could talk about Gargant some more if you want. Just keep
Please
that
no.
going.
Please
You
no.
don't
I
want to
can
talk.
feel my brain smoothing over as we speak.
Well, you don't want flashbacks of your shrine being thrown at you.
Please no. He'll move the butcher and give you the game. Yeah. All right. With that, we'll move to the most fun, the most chaotic Grand Alliance of them all, starting with good old awesome boy Jeremy Davis with one of my favorite armies in the entire game, the one that I am working on at this moment. It is Skaven Tide with a little bit of Scryer mix, actually, and a little bit of Pestilence because you got the Scabics. This is a true man's list because I'm going to just point everyone down to the artillery section where he brought 4 Warp Lightning Cannons.
He's got 4 warp lightning cannons, which they're gonna hurt. That's gonna be about
And
24 mortal wounds per turn until you
if
get rid of
they
them.
don't
So
if they don't die and more life form is there to get them back to full.
Fantastic pick, in my opinion. I like the double Warlock Engineers, not just for the point's sake, but because if one of those does accidentally blow up, hey, look, he's got a backup one.
yeah, nice to have a backup. Or
Yep.
if you need to split your cannons, you don't want to put all your cannons together in one place.
Yep.
You can split them up. You got the Rat Ogres, which for some reason they went down in points. I don't know why. They were already the punchiest unit for their points in Skaven, and they went down in the last battle scroll. So
Yeah, don't know why, but they did.
they will do a surprising amount of damage, especially if it gets Hoarfrost on them.
They're
And then if you
double.
do manage to kill them,
My,
you
yeah.
think they're only like what, a 5-up save. You think, oh, I'll just kill them. Master Ruler says no. Oh, they're
Master
coming
Roller
right
says
back.
on
And
3 up.
they'll bring back the full unit.
Yeah.
Once per game, bring it back, and they're what, 4 wounds apiece? It's still 24 wounds. It's not like the easiest thing for things to deal with.
6 wounds.
They're
Are they 6
6
wounds
wounds.
apiece?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They used to be less, and you would have to take buffs to get them above. But in the last
That's
game,
what's
they
confusing me.
decided to just give them all the buffs. So, oh yeah, 6 wounds apiece. That's
On
36
a
wounds.
4-up too.
And then
Yeah, yeah,
this
that's
list
36 wounds.
speaks good things. I like this list. It's got a lot of varied things. I mean, Thankful still deals with hordes probably better than anything else in the game does. He's got Scabic for great access to Pestilence for Pestilence stuff. Got all the Scryer shooting. Got some Molder beatdowns. Got some Clan Rats that are just probably the most damn efficient unit in the whole game as far as just like infantry goes.
Yeah.
20 bodies for 100 points. Super solid. Like Isaac mentioned, the Life Swarm helps keep the Warp Lightning Cannons topped off. Can help bring back some clan rats that also just bring themselves back in Battle Shock, and it's so thematic because it's 13 drops.
That's pretty nice.
It's pretty nice. I love it. This is one of my favorite lists in the whole tournament, and probably something that I'm going to try myself very soon. How many total? We capped at what? I think 120, and had a few drops.
Let me check.
How many lists do we have tonight, Chair got? There's what? 56? I have to check the Discord numbers.
I'm looking at BCP. BCP says 105, but there's drops. So
Was the 105 might have been after drops because I know at one point we were sold out. 102, 102, still over 100. I think.
yeah, it's around 100.
Yeah,
Sounds about right.
Not surprising. Dallas is the biggest GT of the Texas Masters season, year after year.
Yep. With the big, international airport and the Oklahoma being that close by.
Oklahoma being that by Dallas deciding that they actually are going to go to a GT for the year.
Yeah. Yeah, I already talked about all the OBR yesterday. I'm pretty sure you probably talked about all the Dallas players yesterday.
They probably did, yeah. But I had to get my own dig in there. I'm looking forward to finally seeing all my Dallas friends for the this season. And with that, let's go ahead and move on to Zeb Williams and our first Blades of Corns list of the tournament. With the Skull Fiend tribe, which is one of the mortal tribes. I can't remember which one. Couldn't tell you. I don't think it's the mortal one. If they fought, I think it's the
Skull Fiend is Skull Fiend is you charge. You fight first if you roll an 8 on the charge, but only for the mortals.
Only for the mortals, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not going to affect that Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury that we see in the list with the classic Firebrand, Argath, King of Blades. Hey, look, he's a priest, and he says no wards. This looks like pretty much a standard corn list from what we've been seeing lately. He's got, I assume, the big block of Blood Warriors, got some Wrathmongers, Skull Crushers, Blood Reavers, aka Blood Tithe, some Skull Reapers, 2 Slaughter Priests, the Bloodthirster, Blood Stoker, and a Blood Secrator.
The only thing you don't see is skulls.
I do not see
He did not have must have just not decided no invocations, which is a bit of an unusual choice. Usually you see at least the skulls. Sometimes you see terrorists take all of them just to make walls in the middle of the table. But
pretty good at that. I heard uninteractable things is pretty good. Who
Yeah.
would have thought?
Movement blocking gargants by just putting down a single thing.
This is a more of a straightforward foreign list. He's going to murder lust a bunch of stuff up into you. The Skull Reapers are going to do a bunch of mortals on the hit when they charge in and strike you first if you roll an 8 or higher.
I hope to avoid the list because it's just not, even without skulls, it still just screws magic over.
Yeah, at least you don't have to worry about forgetting your spell. No.
Very true. I'm just going to give up all the Blood Tithe anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's a corn list, and it's a bunch of mortals. If it charges you, it's probably going to get fight first, and if it doesn't charge you, it's going to stop you from charging it. So good luck getting all your tactics, guys.
Yep.
All right.
Grand Strategy, Slaughter, Sorcery, pretty much the only pick that you can really easily do. This is not a list that can do Overshadow. But maybe the Bloodthirster can kill all the wizards. Maybe it'll summon some Bloodletters to do the killing.
Yeah, it's a nice wall of meat that he can just throw at you and eventually grind you down.
Early top 3 predictions. No. I don't know. Brian with Cruel Boys, maybe. Instead, let's move on to Thomas Bridgette, who I believe is one of our friends over from Colorado from the Weekend Decadent crew, also
Yeah.
running Skaven. And the first thing I notice on this list is he has a Chad for choosing the Arch Corruptors of the Mortal Realms grand strategy.
Which I believe is he has to have 3 heroes alive at the end of the game.
3 with the way this list is set up, I believe it's 3 Pestilence or Master Clans, so the Master Molder will not be contributing to it. I believe that's the one.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
he does have 3 Plague Priest and Gracier, so
Yeah.
he has to keep 3 out of 4 alive.
He's also got a Warlock Engineer for the 2 Warp Lightning Cannons. Makes sense.
Yep. The 3 Plague Priest, so he's gonna have the super powered Plague Prayers going off.
Pretty much just every prayer goes off on a 2-up at that point, I think, as long as they're all right next to each other.
Yep. And then
And 2 blocks of 6 Rat Ogres.
3 blocks. 3 blocks of
Oh, yeah,
4
you're
Rat
right.
Ogres. 4
three
blocks of 4.
3 blocks of 4 Rat Ogres.
Yep.
So 12 Rat Ogres, yeah.
12 Rat Ogres. Only one of them can be Battle Line because he's only got 1 Master Molder.
Yeah, and I think that believes he can only bring one of them back from the dead, if I remember that right.
I think
Although
it's one.
Molder's
only happens once. No, or it's a command
No, it's
ability.
one. I thought it was 1 try per unit.
I think it's 1 try per unit because it's command ability from the Master Mold. So as long as they don't all die at the same turn, or at the same
per
phase,
unit. Yeah.
then he can do it.
1 per unit, and then Molder Supreme, the command trait is going to give them +1 attacks if they're totally within 13, of course, of him.
And he's got Skaven Brew on the Grace here to get all those to get the buffs, extra attacks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that can that go on the Rat Ogres or is it just on the Clan?
You can put it on
It
anything.
can go on the Rat Ogres.
You can put it on
you can put it on anything. Yeah.
Because you put it on them and then you immediately heal them, so hopefully they don't have any damage.
Yep, that makes sense. Awesome stuff. Love the spread out of prayers. Got the Merciless Blizzard and Death Frenzy on the Grace here. The probably one of the most efficient monsters in the game in the Hell Pit. Continuing to just take points drops because nobody understands why. Fantastic at 180. I like the list.
This is just a bunch of efficient elite infantry that's gonna smash your face.
Yeah.
And then come back from the dead. So
it's one of those where you want to take it down all at once.
Something that can help battle tactic wise for him is since he took heal on that priest, there's the one where he has to have an ogre on 1 wound left.
Mm-hmm.
If he heals a batch to full, he gets a battle tactic. That heal's going to help with that if he needs a battle tactic in a pinch.
Yep. This one of the only lists I've seen actually be able to possibly do that battle tactic. No meme lists yet. Sad. Irish Warlord, did you not see all of Destruction?
Destruction is basically a meme.
It is a meme.
We had 7 big pigs. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I also like the Wizard Finders of Andor for a battalion for all the clan rats. And for the Hell Pit. Although I don't think that works. Was this a copy paste? Can the Hell Pit go in the Wizard Finders?
Wizard Finders is the unmounted hero, 2 infantry units, and a non-hero behemoth.
It can have a behemoth in it? That's cool. All right. I don't know why you want I guess you want the extra attacks on the Hell Pit, because like the Hell Pit has a 4
Or just
anyway.
Yes,
also, it's just a free slot. Like,
you might as well.
Anywhere else.
Yeah, it's fair. Cool list, Tom. I like it. It'll be good to see you guys again. Moving on down, we got Ryan Manty bringing on Maggotkin of Nurgle.
Here, you want a good meme. This is a nice one.
Yeah, this one's a good one.
Yeah, Befouling Host, Orgod's Demon Spew, a Guo with Nurgle Infestation, Doomsday Bell, Plague Flail, Wither Stave, Knowing Fleshy Abundance, Blowab, and Glotkin, and then 3 units of Plague Bearers and 2 Normals. This is Monster Mash, Nurgle Edition.
Monster Mash, and he's going to do a decent amount of summoning.
Yeah,
with those 2 Normals. But no, Plague Bearers take way too much effort to kill for how cheap they are. And the Glotkin's going to help with all the slow monsters get into fights with you.
Look, it is a solid meme, ham smash. It's still a meme. You don't expect Monster Mash out of your Nurgle. But yeah, like you guys said, it's going to summon a lot. Plague Bearers are hard to kill. Even
You're
just
gonna
10
have
of
a
them.
lot of Beast and Nurgle to worry about soon too.
Yeah.
Because that's probably what he's summoning every
Yeah.
time. That's what I would do if I was playing this list.
I mean, yeah, that's why I took the Bloodthirsty. Well, I would say Bloodthirsty Triumph weighs 2,000 points, so that's not going to come up.
Not going to matter. If he did have a Triumph though, that's the one pick. And then
Yep.
Corrupt Arcane Nexus, just to be like, hey, look, no wizards in the middle.
Yep.
Except mine. Just mine. Yeah, it's Nurgle. It's got a 5-up ward. It does disease. That's the list. I'm gonna move on. Next up, we got Raymond Weilacher with another Skaven list.
Another Arch Corruptors play,
Another
but this one a little more safe because he has six qualifying heroes,
yes.
and 3 of them are on big models. So
I'm not gonna lie, this list looks like it just wants to be the Triple Bell list, but it's not the Triple Bell list.
It's pretty close. It's definitely not, but
It's definitely not. 2 Plague Furnaces and a Screaming Bell, then 2 Graciers on foot.
it's not the Triple Bell list because
Foot
the Plague Furnaces aren't going to turn into Vermin Lords, but
not gonna turn
but they are going to keep all your battle line from running away.
Oh yeah. Nothing is dying to Battle Shock in this list. Which is great because he's got the 10 Plague Sensor Barriers
and
and
like
the double reinforced Plague
it's
Monks.
been a while since Plague Monks were a scourge.
Single
but
reinforced Plague Monks.
Yeah, it's been a while since they were a scourge, but that's a lot of attacks still. They have a ton of attacks, and it's only 1 reinforced, but that's 40 models.
yeah.
So, because Plague Monks went to 20 base in the last battle scroll.
Yep, they did.
And he has the classic Warp Lightning Vortex in the list too.
Lightning Vortex. It's good.
The Warp Grinder. You got that because
he's got a Warp Grinder.
He can deep strike some Sensor Bearers or Monk strike into you, but also it's good with the if you have 3 Master Clan for 3 Claw Steps, then you can it helps fish for 9s.
Yeah, it helps you fish for 9s. Yeah. Super solid. We like that.
Since your first charge is essentially more rolls for the 9-inch deep strikers. You roll your charge on your clan rats first, and if your clan rats don't get the 9, you still have an actual charge roll with the unit that deep struck. So
yeah, it pretty much gives you 3 chances to get 9.
Yeah.
Yep. Super fun. I like it. It knows what it's about.
And just 1 battalion, Antorian Acolytes. He just took the 1 Antorian Acolytes and called it a day.
Yep.
Like, what more do you need?
Don't need anything else.
Yeah.
And he's just got the 2 Graciers on foot in it. Cool.
Yep.
At least that Gracier has access to all the spell lore for the Lore of the Frost plus Skitter Leap.
Yep.
Cool. Man, we got a lot of Skaven. The next list is also Skaven list.
Yeah.
Miles Askew.
Now I like going back to the 4 cannons. We're about to.
Miles here got lots of names for his units. Not all his cannons and units have names yet. Maybe they have to earn them. But yeah, pretty solid list. All 4 lightning cannons and 2 doom wheels are going to do a ton of mortal wounds.
Oh yeah.
4 warp lightning cannons and 2 doom wheels and a hell pit, my man.
And Vermintide.
And Vermintide. What a chat. He took the Vermintide. My favorite thing about this, he has the 50 points. I think what is Warp Lightning Vortex is 80 points. He could have taken the Warp Lightning Vortex.
Yeah.
And he instead chose to take Vermintide.
I can see it. Having played Doom Wheel list before, Doom Wheels tend to get caught in your own Warp Lightning Vortex. So because you tend to like usually whatever you want to do damage with the vortex is also something you're trying to run over with a wheel, and it can get
Yeah.
messy. He also did take the Vial of the Fulminator artifact, which is the
So
correct
he is
choice.
trying to
Whenever you have a
push.
Doom Wheel, yeah, that's the artifact you have to take because you gotta try for that 46 times 2 move.
Oh yeah. The only reason you wouldn't take it is if you're a madman and also taking 9 storm.
And the fun thing about it is the way random characteristics work is you have to say you're using the vial on a unit before you roll their movement. So
you don't get to roll 2d6 and then figure out if you want 2
no,
more.
it's 46, and no, you don't.
Oh, that's right. It's 46 move.
Yep. And so you say you're gonna use the vial, then you roll and you use double whatever you roll.
Okay.
So you can still just move 8 inches if you're real lucky, but unlucky. But no, you're gonna have a Doom Wheel zooming over. This is the kind of list my Vexler Annihilator Nosits is terrified of seeing.
Oh yeah.
A Doom Wheel will just run over all the Annihilators.
Literally just clean over all of them.
Yeah. But no, it's a fun
However,
list.
your list
He'll have a good
also can just go plop 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 and
he'll have a
kill.
good time. I mean, it's easy to forget that he still also has 60 clan rats to hold objectives while he's doing all this stuff, and
Just 60 models.
And a screaming
Nothing
bell.
to worry about.
yeah, and a screaming bell.
If you don't kill the screaming bell, hey, guess what? Here comes Screech. Yeah. This list is cool.
Good.
It takes all the explosiveness of Scryer, and then it was like, oh, but here's also a solid objective holding backbone to it. I like it. Very curious to see where all these Skaven lists land. For now, let's move on to a not Skaven list. Probably our first of our repeated Slaves to Darkness adventures.
Yes, I think this one's unique. I think this is the only host of the Ever Chosen list we have.
Which means, does it have Archeon?
No.
Oh, not the Archeon list.
It has.
Archeon I don't think Archeon gets much from host of the Ever Chosen.
He is keyworded to it. That's why I was curious. For some reason, he's still just. Yeah, you're right. He benefits nothing from most of the Ever Chosen, but that is his chosen subfaction.
I
Yeah.
don't think he's keyworded to it.
He is.
Oh, all right.
Don't know why.
I think it's just he can't get the NP throne abilities. That's probably it.
Probably. Still, I want to get my empty throne abilities. Anyway, host of the Ever Chosen, the part of Slaves to Darkness that makes Chaos Chosen battle line and gives you a 5-up rally for Chaos Chosen and Chaos Warriors. He's got a Carcadrag with Nurgle and the Conqueror's Crown. He's going to make that very hard to kill. He's got a Sorcerer Lord Zinch, so it knows Warp Reality in addition to Hoarfrost. He's got a Chaos Lord on Manticore. It's the fighty one.
Yeah.
Khorne, favorite of the Pantheon. Oh, yeah. The Rune Shield, the Demon Blade, Helm the Oppressor. He wants to send that guy in. And then looks like reinforced unit of Knights, Nurgle, making it very hard to remove because also got the eroding icon. Then a reinforced unit of Warriors with the Khorne mark.
No, it's gonna make them fighty if they charge.
That's gonna make them
Especially if you get Hoarfrost off on him too.
Yeah.
With the 3d6 casting Sorcerer Lord.
with the Banner of Rage. Like, that is a fighty unit of Warriors.
Yeah. The 2 units of Furies for doing dual tactics. So yeah, Varangard and 2 Untamed Beasts to get in your way.
Fury is the second best unit in that book
Yeah,
behind
and
Varangard.
10 beasts are really good for getting strong turn 1.
Yeah, pregame moves are super awesome. Then he's got the Varangard with Slanesh mark.
Yep. The Helm of the Oppressor artifact on the Manticore Lord is real nice because that Manticore Lord is fast, and Helm of the Oppressor turns him into a Horrorghast.
Yep.
It does no rally and inspiring presence within 6 of him. So that Manticore Lord's going to get close to you when everything else charges in, so that you don't get to rally after he fights. Or inspiring presence.
Yep. And that Sorcerer Lord with Zinch is going to try to. He can't use Warp Reality, can he? Does it have to target his Zinch mark?
Yes. I mean, he gets Warp Reality by default, but yes, Warp Reality I think the app just filled it in for him.
The app does. The app just automatically gives you Warp Reality, but I was just curious
Yeah,
if he could
it
do
does have
anything
to
with
be
this
Zinch.
list. Yeah, okay,
It has
yeah.
to be
So
another
it's
Zinch.
actually useless in this list because it got eroded that he can't choose himself. I believe
Yeah.
he got eroded, he has to choose
Yeah.
another unit.
But
So.
it does give him a spell save. I think it's a
Yeah.
6-up spell
Mhm.
save.
Yeah.
But
And something anti-shooting, I believe, or at least for a command point or something like that.
that's the banner. The banner is a
Oh, it's the
4-up.
banner.
Yeah, the banner is a 4-up ward against shooting. No, I mean on his Sorcerer Lord, like you can't give him a Corn Mark, and the Nurgle and Slanesh marks are all about fighting in combat, which he's not going to do anyway. So might as well give him Zinch or Undivided,
Yeah.
and
I don't know.
and
I
he
always
went with
like to give
Zinch.
him mine Nurgle, just in
Because
case
I like making my Nurgle.
someone did get them in combat, they might not die because minus one
Yeah.
wound is so annoying.
Yep. I had the same thought. Either that or it's like, oh, cool, I need this command ability that can only be issued by a hero. Sure, you match the mark.
Now
But
we're
It's cool.
saying the Manticore is going to be fighting. That's if he doesn't turn to a spawn pregame.
True. If he doesn't turn into a spawn pregame.
yeah, without that Undivided mark, it's a little bit of a risk.
It's unlikely, but when it happens,
It's a small chance, but it's a chance. And Isaac, you and I have both seen that happen recently.
oh yeah,
I don't think you don't know, Chris, but Dimitri played at a tournament recently with his Slaves of Darkness and did in fact turn his general into a spawn pregame in one of the games,
and then immediately blew up his other hero.
and then immediately blew up his other hero. It was not a good turn one for him. With that, let's move on to our other Slaves to Darkness list. Next on the list, Kyle Walker, also host of the Ever Chosen.
So I was wrong. There's 2.
There's 2. I am just as shocked as you are. Apparently, the list is so long that it has 2 pages worth of stuff. So on the first page, we have a Sorc Lord with Arch Sorcerer, so it knows all of the Slaves of Darkness spell lore, knows Blizzard as well. Undivided mark. Another Sorc Lord with Chaos Familiar, Horfrost, also undivided, because he's
So
trying to get
another cast whenever he wants it.
Yep. Exalted Hero of Chaos. That is just the foot. One of the foot dudes, I think.
It's
It's
just
the
a foot
foot.
hero.
He
Yeah,
can.
the little foot.
The whole goal is he can roll on the table before game.
He
Oh, yeah.
inherently gets to roll. Yeah.
You try to turn him into a prince.
Yep. That makes sense. But he's got 2 of those.
Yeah, he's got one
undivided, one Slanesh.
with the Rune Shield, which makes him a 3-up save and 5-up ward, and one with who's more fighty and has
Who's more fighty.
dual axis.
Makes sense. The fighty one's Slanesh then. He's got 10 Chaos Knights, 10 Warriors, 10 Warriors.
Cabal.
Nurgle on the Warriors, Corn on the Knights. He's using his Knights to be more fighty unit. That's why he's got the Banner of Rage. The Nurgle units. Okay, cool. Nurgle units on the Warriors so that they're kind of like anchor and holding down. Warriors take the Nurgle mark very well by being -1 to wound. He's got 9 Corvus Cabal that are just gonna drop in the back, take objectives, hopefully get him a tactic later. And on the next page of the list, you'll see 10 chosen Slanesh marked with the banner of Screaming Flesh. That is going to be a moving unit that hopefully does damage when it gets to where it goes. And then adds Pendulum. And then because it keeps going, this list also has a Mind Stealer's Phalanx and 6 Furies.
Yeah, it turns out when you only spend like 300 points on heroes,
You can bring a
nonsense.
lot.
Yeah, you can bring a lot. Exalted Heroes are 90 points. That is cheap. Yeah, it turns out when you realize, yeah, you're right. When you don't spend that much on heroes, you realize a lot. You can bring a bunch of armored stuff and still have enough points for a lot of other stuff. This is cool. I like the armored list. Most of it's going to be taking that 5-up rally well, like we said, the 10 chosen and the 2x10 warriors. All benefit from the
I like the
rally.
chosens and the wizard finders too. So yeah,
Me too.
because they are susceptible to more wounds, but that kind of helps. Hopefully, not get targeted by spells. Especially when they get outside of that range to get ocular visions.
Yep. Because otherwise they don't have a ward. They're not like the other armored units they don't have a base mortal wound ward. So anything that helps, like, basically protect that unit from Blizzard is really good. I like that a lot. This is going to do a lot of the same stuff that the other list that we were looking at do, just with less of the spread out units for tactics and more
Yeah, this
holding
is
down
more
the objectives
focused
it's going to
on
have.
damage, especially with
Yeah,
those knights and corn and the chosen. It's focused on hitting you hard and just kind of cleaning up what's left.
yeah, and then holding the objectives that that it's going to take really well because its units are going to be harder to remove. I like it. Cool stuff, Kyle. Let's move on to Kyle Valdez, who's showing up for his biannual appearance with his brand new army, the Blades of Totek, his lizard-fied corn. If you haven't seen it, guys, he's got pictures all over the Houston Discord. It's a very cool, like fully converted corn army, essentially. Very narrative.
Yeah, it's all mostly a bunch of converted Seraphon models. Some custom, I think, 3D prints mixed in
Yes.
there.
Some jaguars for his flesh horns. Some really neat stuff. He was bold and he used yellow as his base color for the whole army, but it worked out really well. Going for Gore-Tide, which is like +1 to wound on objectives.
Yeah, this is a pretty standard corn list as of like 6 months ago. All
Yeah.
the little corn heroes, pretty similar to what James West went 5-0 with at Hammerfest,
Mm-hmm.
except with the little pick a Karanak at the bottom there. One of, I think, Kyle's pet units in the list.
Yes.
But yeah, a pretty good
And
mortal corn list.
on
Yeah,
top of what you see on this page, he's also got 3 Skull Crushers, 5 Wrathmongers, and a unit of Therodons, which are also like a pet pick. The Therodons are one of my favorite units he's done because they're converted Croxigor models with
Yeah.
giant axes. Very well done. Yes, if any of you have paid attention to what Metacorn looks like, it's 20 Blood Warriors holding down your whole army, and then the rest of the army does whatever. Yes, it is a weird Seraphon list. Needs more skulls. I agree. Kyle, we're not going to talk about your list anymore. Instead, I'm going to usher everybody to go take a look at it this weekend if you're there, because it's one of my favorite armies that I think we're going to see. Just from a hobby standpoint. Playing wise, Pilot's a little. Next up, we've got Kyle Corcoran, who actually is showing up to a GT outside of Houston for like the first time ever, bringing his own Skaven.
Yep. Going for the controlled Nexus Grand strategy.
Yes.
He's gonna keep 2 wizards alive, and he's not gonna try to keep 3 heroes alive like the other guys.
I think my favorite part about this list is that he brought Screech and Thankwall.
Oh yeah, he's gonna turn you into clan rats, is what he wants to
Turn you
do.
into clan rats.
it's amazing.
It was funny. I was talking to him, and he had this list. He played it at a tournament, and then it got cheaper, and it got just cheap enough that he just added 20 more clan rats.
Yeah, he's been playing this for a long time. The list similar to this for a long time, and it just keeps getting cheaper because no
Yep.
one else can figure out how to play it. He's got 60 clan rats and 4 Radagars and 2 cannons and Geminids. Why not? And 3 pack masters
And
just
three
because you
pack
can.
masters. It's got like a little bit of everything, and you kind of don't know what's happening at what point until you're dead.
Yep.
It's very cool. The clan rats are going to hold objectives, like we said, forever. Kyle's a master at rolling ones, so those warp lightning cannons is basically just 24 free damage on whatever he wants.
Yeah.
The question is, can he get 12 more damage in other shooting phases?
Yep. It's a solid list.
Yeah, super cool. I do think it's interesting he picked Warp Lightning Shield. I didn't realize there were other spells on the Scryer spell order besides more war power, but apparently there are.
Yeah, more warp power isn't gonna do anything for you. Warp lightning shield's
No.
nice because it stops the first 3 wounds against you, but if you take more than 3, you take extra damage.
Yeah.
So It's good insurance against getting sick from your own warp sparks, is what it is. Because when you
That
spend
makes sense.
because your warp sparks do D3 damage,
Mhm.
so you cast Word of Lightning Shield if you have an extra cast on him, because you might as well, and then he can eat your warp sparks and not randomly take a bunch of damage, because he'll take D3 damage in one phase and the shield won't break. So
Yep. Which is cool. I like it. It's a good pick. Very much hoping to see him do well. I am thankful that he didn't bring the triple bell list because I know he was considering it.
yeah, he tried it out a little bit locally, and it was as gross as advertised. Yeah.
yeah. I don't need to see anybody running that. Thankful that so far we have a good amount of skating representation, and two, nobody running that list. That's what we want to see.
Although I think
Next,
the change to bodyguards to make them wards helps also against that.
yes,
It does.
I agree. It does because you can't.
You can interact with it now.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. That's the phrase I was trying to
Yep.
get out. I love that Jeremy Davis is in the chat and he just goes, "I honestly forgot that Pack Masters existed." Very, very funny to me.
Yeah, they're cheap
Now,
little guys who let you get the buffs from your molder, but without having to actually get your molder in danger.
absolutely. But for now, we're going to move on to our next list, a army that both of you are familiar with, and I have like no experience with at all, except playing like 2 games against it. Beasts of Chaos, all heard, and the most important thing I saw was that there's 2 units of Bulgors at the bottom of this list.
Yeah, there's 2 units of
Yeah.
6 Bulgors.
Now they are great axes. There's less attacks, more damage on attacks, so more fishing for those 3 more wounds on 6s to hit than just a bunch of 2s.
Yeah.
Aside
What
from that,
exactly does all herd get us?
or herd will help him keep his gores alive.
All
It's
hard lets you return D3 models to each Gore's unit at the end of turn.
yep.
It's pretty good when you're running 3 units of them.
Yeah, one of them
Okay.
is a 20 block too.
Okay.
Yep, and the grand strategy Desecrating Bray Herd is he has to have 2 units of Bray Herd on 2 objectives at the end of the game. Bray Herd is like the Bray Shaman, the Gores, Ungors, whatever. Like
It's pretty easy to
Basically
do
the
with
standard
this
base
list.
unit.
if
Okay.
you don't get totally tabled, you can usually do it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then on the next page, we have a Chaos Gargant, a Dirge Horn as well.
Yeah, I don't recall what the Dirge Horn does, but the Chaos Guardian is gonna
I don't either.
make things more
Chaos
red.
Gargant's really good for the Doom Bulls. Or not for the Doom Bulls, for the Bulgors. Since
Yeah,
the
give
Bulgors
another
benefit from
rend.
getting the extra minus to save.
Yeah.
Dirge Horn is an endless spell. It's not the bull which does fight last. That's what I'm used to seeing from my
What it
opponents.
does is it subtracts one wound rolls made by attacks within 6 inches of it, and then it expands by 6 at the end of each round. So you
So
put
it's
it
a
where,
little debuff piece. Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah.
put it where you want to hit. Hopefully your units are within the -1 to hit, and then stay alive.
Oh, sweet.
Aside
Looks
from that,
fun.
yeah,
Looks less all eggs in one baskety than the 9 Doom Bull list.
Yep.
Bulgor
His
list.
the command trait in the Doom Bowl. He did not opt for the 7-inch deep strike. Instead, he took Slate Fray Reveler, which gives you the whole army plus 3 inches of movement as long as the unit starts within 6 inches of a terrain piece, which is usually the whole table.
That's
Especially on the terrain setup at Lone Star, should just be the whole table.
yeah, that's pretty
Uh,
good.
now he still does have the basic Sithrak helm, so 2 up, fight last.
yeah,
And then Brave Blast to get on another unit of probably Gores.
yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
This
And
is cool.
Gores are pretty nice. They make you. I think they make you fight last if they
Yeah, they
roll a
make you
high
fight
charge and
last on a 3 up if they outnumber you.
yeah. He's got a unit of 20 there, so
That's what that unit 20 is for. Especially since it has a shield. They actually a 4 up save, which is pretty good for Beast.
Are they 2 wounds apiece, or are they 1 wound apiece?
1 wound. The only thing
So,
that's 2 wounds is the best of Gores.
it's the best, of course, that have 2 wounds. Okay, okay. I can remember. I knew one of the infantry units had multiple weapons.
It's a good list. He has to be careful with his bull gores because that's kind of his main source of damage. The
Yeah.
gores will he'll have a decent amount of attacks, but it's really the bull gores will be doing the brunt of the damage.
Gores
And
really don't turn on until like turn 4, which is
yeah,
unfortunate.
not until you get the 2
So you
ren
get
from
the
your.
2 extra Ren. Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't start off with any.
That makes sense. But I mean, Beast players basically void their first 2 turns anyway, so that's only like half the game for them.
Yeah.
Well, with the Slake Fray Reveler trait, he can actually start on the board if he wants and get like just zoom around.
I'm assuming that the Zangor are at least the 20 blocks gonna start on, just with what he's going for, and that way he'll have something to do, a tactic if he needs to.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything else
Makes sense.
should be a deep strike.
Okay. Well, seems cool. Moving on, we've got our very own Weirdcast member, Jeff V, bringing Blades of Corn. This is his flayed list that he's ran a couple times to good success.
Now Jeff is the only person I know who plays the Flayed, so I don't know what it does.
The flayed is a 5-up ward on mortal units that have already fought in combat.
Oh, all right.
So that
That's
lasts
not- that's
until
all
the
right.
end of the turn.
Yeah, until the end of the turn. So it's pretty solid. If you go and if you get to fight before your opponent does, then you can get a ward when they fight you back.
So it's
Yeah,
really,
it's mostly a pretty standard corn list. Scarbrand, Unfair Fury. Skull Crushers instead of the big unit of Blood Warriors, but they're still,
Mhm.
a big old tanky unit. And he's got the unit of Varangard that I know he likes to take in there.
Yeah,
yeah,
this is
and the Skull Crushers benefits from the flayed because you can send them in by themselves. They'll fight. They'll be on 2-up, then a 5-up board. You probably aren't killing them unless you're doing a lot of mortals.
Yeah, not melee.
yeah.
No.
No, they already were very hard to kill. Then when you give them a 5-up board, they very even become that much harder. This is very much this is a Jeff style of running this list. He tried the big blood warrior bomb once, didn't like it, didn't fit his style. This kind of does all the corn stuff in a way that he likes doing it. And he's got
Yeah.
the skulls, which still just
I know
why
they're your
why
favorite
can't we
model in the
interact with
game.
indications? Someday.
Just unbind it. Eli, why don't you just unbind it?
Why can't I just unbind why can't I just unbind skulls?
Yeah, why haven't you thought of that?
Why haven't I thought of that? Why didn't GW just let me keep my priests? All right, moving from one corn lord to another, except he's not running corn this time around.
No, he's going. It's an oldie but a goodie here.
Oldie, this is a very classic. No Bloodstoker this time,
Doesn't need it.
as we
Says the
joke.
army's so fast. Doesn't need it.
No, as we joke with James forever about the fact that he brought in a legal list, and he'll never live it down. But this one is Archeon and his boys. It's Archeon and 12 Erangard.
Yeah, he
There's
used to
really
play like Archeon and 3 Varangard. For Bennett, he was playing Archeon 3 Varangard and like a shrine and
yeah. When the points didn't work, he had the war shrine to fit.
but now the Archeon went down a little bit and the points work out for just 4 Varangard Archeon.
And then some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played against this list. Yeah, he was playing. We were playing the other day. Sunday still hits just as hard as it always did.
He's got 2 units of Corn Vanguard, 2 units of Nerf Vanguard.
Archeon and 3 Varangard picked up a unit of Forged Stormdrake Guard in a turn.
Nice.
And then Archeon and then they turned around and just told Ionis to go fly off because it was they hit real hard.
I love it. I'm a fan of anybody who brings Archeon. It's
And
one of my favorite models in the game.
he was playing the pendulum, but decided to go for instead the triumph bid, which I think is the right play with all the 3s to wound on the Varangard, ensorcelled weapons and whatnot. The plus
yeah,
1
you're
is
getting
nice.
those at 2s and 2s is real nice.
Yeah, for sure. And all this free fight twice, and Archeon just doing Archeon things. Getting demonic speed to make one of those Varangard run and charge. Super nice. I love it.
Oh, I noticed it isn't my sub faction's not marked, but it's
It's not, but then when you go
it's
to BCP, it's under his name, so I'm assuming.
yeah, I know it is. He should be playing the run and charge. Yeah,
Yes, it should be Kotet, right? It should be
yeah,
Knights of the Empty
Kotet.
Throne.
Yeah.
It's empty throne.
And then Demonic does 3d6, not run in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Oh, James popping in the chat to say like half the time it just denies Indomitable.
Yeah, which is
Triumphs.
important.
Makes sense when Archeon's just like, hey, you can't Inspiring Presence. So now you have to take Battle Shock. Unless you're Ossiarch Bone Reapers. Because that army does everything.
Well, that's important. Like if he has to play something like that Squigless,
Mhm.
Schleezus' Squigless,
Yes.
where he took the double triumph because he really wants to try to get it. And
Yeah, this
if he
will
can
try
make
it
yeah. But no, yeah, it's solid. He's gonna deploy
Denying
one
double.
drop, put everything down, and just
Go.
chart. Yeah, go.
Yep.
Giveaway turn 1. Dark Prophecy, bottom of 1. Figure out whether you're going to win the game immediately or not.
Sounds about right.
Exactly. He wouldn't. That's the point. If James had the Ether Void Pendulum and he did face Schleezus would get the double Indomitable, Vince. So it's already proving dividends.
Yeah. Well, really, I think in his games he was just forgetting he even had the spell. So if you're
I'm
not
not
gonna cast
lie.
it, so
That sounds about right. All right. Moving on. We've got Jacob Matthias, a hometown guy.
Playing Meat Fist. He's got a.
It's not
he's
Meat
got a
Fist.
what? No.
He's not running ogres. I know it's weird.
This is
Mawfather,
not right.
and he's not running ogres. I don't understand.
That corn,
he's
is it
running
like
corn.
converted? Is it like ogres that look corn? I don't.
Okay, we're gonna figure out when we get there. I guess.
I don't know.
I
I don't
don't
even
know.
know what this brand strat is. It's bring me a worthy skull.
Bring Me With Their Skull is your opponent chooses one of their heroes, and you have to kill that hero. I think.
I think it has to be the most points that they have hero wise.
Am I thinking of a different one? Worthy Skull might be kill the biggest hero.
Yeah, I think that's it. Let's see.
Okay.
I mean, corn doesn't really have a great grand strategy
That's true.
choice. It's kind of just pick your poison, just whichever one you want to try to
They
do.
take a hero, and your general has to be alive at the end of the game. Okay.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah.
Bloodstoker, Unfettered Fury with the works. Rome Gore, Slaughter Priest, Valkia.
I like Valkia.
My favorite corn list. You and I, Isaac, have talked about how much we like Valkia. Great choice. And then 10 Warriors, 10 Reapers, 10 Reavers, 10 Reavers. A Gorgon. Also an interesting pick.
It's interesting.
6 Furies and Skulls.
Gorgons are pretty choppy.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Gorgon and Valkia, Jacob's doing corn with some style. It looks like
he's doing
and Furies. It'd be a cool list.
This is a really cool corn list. I'm very excited to see Jacob play it. I'm definitely gonna find a way to that table because if any of y'all know how Jacob's ogres look, I'm sure his corn's gonna be heavily converted and like look really cool and really neat. Won't play her till she gets a new model. Respect, Salty. I like the old model, but man, she needs a new one. Although it's also like the only thing holding me back from getting that army myself is a good Valkia. So maybe they should hold off on that.
No, she needs her time in the sun.
She does. And it's a double warlord, doesn't care about drops, getting all the extra stuff.
Yep.
With that, moving on to slaves, and our first of our likely copy pasted Knights of the Empty Thrones lists, we have Be'lakor, We have a Chaos Lord on Manticore. That part's interesting. 6 Vanguard,
General
and then a bunch of other stuff.
Beauregard.
The General Vanguard.
Yeah, not all
is a
the
good pick.
Kotet list do the General Vanguard. I like it because like you can only rally up to 2 Vanguard a turn, but still that's pretty good.
Yeah.
He does have Warp Reality on Belcourt here, which is not that's not a thing.
I think that's an app bug.
That's that bug. It's just
Yeah.
funny. But no, that Chaos War Manticore is great. Just like he's cheap enough and tanky enough to be just a good guy to carry a good artifact around. Whether
Yeah,
it's
and
the
the
last one we
Conquerors.
saw,
Sorry, go
the
ahead.
last one we saw with the battle shock crown, or yeah, like you were probably gonna say the Conqueror's crown for
Yep.
objective control.
Yeah,
and
turning
then-
off 1 and 2 wounds from area control is good in this meta.
Super solid. And then he's also got Eternus, which I don't know if I've ever seen in a list.
Eternus is funny. Similar to Scar Blood Wrath. If he dies, there's a good chance he's gonna come back.
Come back.
Especially since Belcor's on the list.
Yeah, it's just you get +1 to your roll with Bellicor in your list. So on
Uh-huh.
a 2d6 roll of 7 up, he'll come back to life.
I'm learning so many
And
things
he
about
can
how this
keep coming
how
back.
this works.
It's
Yeah,
not one and done.
He keeps coming back. Now he's a 9 wounds with 3 up save. So like I've played around with Eternus, and he tends to not die as fast as you think. So
Yeah, 9 wounds 3 of save isn't as easy to kill as it appears.
and it's what's fun also with Eternus is that at the start of each hero phase, if he's within an inch of any Furies, you get an extra command point.
Hey, guess what? He's got a unit of Furies.
Yeah, so he's gonna have 2 extra command points each turn while they're close to each other.
Nice.
That's pretty solid.
Two each round, I should say. 2 extra command points each round.
Huh.
So
And
yeah,
then to fill out
Eternus is a fun pick.
Yeah, it was a very fun pick. And then to fill out the battle line, we got the 2 units of Cabal, and then the knights that you'd expect to see in Knights of the Empty Throne.
Yep.
Reinforced Nurgle Knights. They're gonna, and with the eroding icon.
Yeah,
that
they're
is
gonna
a
run charge
horrible
into
animal.
you, and then you're gonna be stuck because you
Yep.
can't kill them.
They are
He's
they
got
are
one-
still
he'll have one
my
turn where he
favorite pick
does
in the book.
one turn where they might do damage, and then they won't do any damage.
But if they're buffed, you're also not killing them.
Second Chair Grot wants to run Eternus in her Slaves of Darkness list. She's more than welcome to. Nothing is stopping her except herself. So I joked that this was going to be very copy pasted, and then we got a very unconventional Kotet list.
Yeah, really the only they all have Vanguard, but they're all a little different too.
Yeah. They all have Vanguard. I think they all have Furies too.
I mean, Furies are incredible.
They're
and I
not
think if
James.
you have
James doesn't have.
Okay.
Furies. Yeah.
Well, that's because
James is
too
also
boring.
not doing.
James is different. James is special. He's doing his own thing. If you're running anywhere sort of a normal slaves list, and you're not including at least 1 or 2 units of Furies, I think you're selling yourself short. That unit is just stupid good for its points right now.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We've got the other half of Gonzo Gaming coming from Houston. This is Andy running the Bloodlords version of Blades of Corn. The Bloodlords being our traditional Corn list from the beginning of that book's release. Very demon focused. It's got the Bloodletter Bomb. It's going to charge. It's going to do mortals on 5s and 6s. And hopefully kill you. I like it. We got the
He's using
typical
that grand
Bloodlord.
strat I haven't seen before. I had to look it up. The Blood Legion's March.
What's that?
He has to summon a unit every turn, starting turn 2.
Good luck. Play
Yeah.
Seraphon, I guess.
Yeah, or just I mean, he's just planning on killing stuff.
Yeah.
He has plenty of Reavers and Furies that he can just go send to die.
Yeah, that's also true. He's got
true.
2 units of Reavers. He's got 2 units of Furies. He's got Flesh Hounds.
He's got stuff. Yeah, that's gonna die. And it only costs 3 blood tithe to summon a unit, right?
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
gets you like 5 dogs.
As long as he's killing
Yeah.
stuff and his stuff is dying, and maybe
And he's got blood sacrifice.
he rolls he rolls a 5 up every now and then too. The heal.
And Corn
it's
doesn't
doable.
need to literally have any models on the board to summon. So
True.
there's that too.
Very true. Seems cool. Looks like just a bunch of like demon good stuff with the big 20 block hammer and the and the Unfettered Fury. I did notice he's got the Insensate Rage.
Yep.
He did bring the Boom Thirster with the Halo of Blood.
Yeah, you don't see the Boom Thirster as much anymore, which I think is cowardice on the part of Corn players.
Agreed.
You gotta, if you're not playing since Rage, what are you doing? You gotta fish for the 6s.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And the two Furies can help you get surround before they die. That's their job. They're going to go get surround and then they're going to screen and die. Bless you. Yeah, this is a cool list. I actually really like it. And I'm a big fan of Andy, and I hope he does well.
Yep.
This is going to be very fun.
Yep.
Go Gonzo Gaming. Next up, we've got Anthony Richardson running Slaves of Darkness, Knights of the Anti-Throne, Be'lakor, Karkadrak, Storklord, Warriors, Corvus, Unnamed Beast, Varangard.
Thematically similar to the last one we looked at,
Mhm.
but did not opt for the General Varangard,
No.
which it's okay. I like the General Varangard, but with the way he's constructed it, it wouldn't be a one drop if he did that.
No, and it doesn't make sense with him choosing to go for spellcasting savant to make the Varangard. The general, he wants it to be the Sork Lord that he turns to the Demon Prince, so he just gets his Grand Strat without doing things.
Yeah.
Bella Crutch out in force. I like that, Bella Crutch. I'm gonna start calling him that. I'm used to flavors of bitch because I'm an Archeon fan, and Be'lakor is just inferior in every way. But truthfully, this is a stock Knights of the Anti-Throne list with like some slight flavoring. It's got the mounted Varangard that are going to run in charge. It's got some units to help you score tactics. And it's got Be'lakor. Check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's your Knights of the Anti-Throne list.
Nothing. It's very very straightforward and solid. Not as
Mhm.
straightforward as James, but what can you do?
Yeah. Nothing's going to get more straightforward than that.
The only thing's a little different is taking warriors instead of knights.
Mm-hmm. Which the Warriors, the job of the 20 Warriors with Nurgle is literally just hold an objective and protect the heroes.
Yep.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the points for Knights.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, exactly. If you had the points for Knights, they would just be Knights. Done. Moving on, we got Ben Riddle.
More beasts.
His carousel of army choices has decided to settle on Beasts of Chaos.
Yep. He's been playing Beast last few RTTs, last few months with RTTs around here. And I think he likes the army. Gradually as he plays, he's been playing less and less Bulgors and more into the Enlightened and
Ooh,
Be'lakor.
interesting.
As you see, he's only got 6 Bulgors here. The 6 Bulgors will hit something fairly hard, but he's not really going all in on them. Instead, he's got like the Zangor Enlightened plan with 2 units of 6, who for 180 points just really punch above their weight class.
Snore, that's also a good one. Good one, Rope Swope. Bella Snore, that's a good one.
And then
Also, in my favorite sub faction for Beast, Dark Workers, which is going to let you teleport around Ungors, Gores, and Ungor Raiders around the board wherever you need them.
yeah, Darkwalkers is great. Um, just for teleport, there's so many objectives that are within the 9 inches of the table edge
Mm-hmm.
that they can just hop around, grab objectives, score, surround to destroy, keep your opponent from killing them.
Yeah,
If
it
they're
really
trying to
helps.
shoot for like overshadow or something, but
It really helps the Ungor Raiders keep their shots relevant too, like making sure they always have shots each turn.
and like Vince mentioned in the chat, uh, he just got done converting a Be'lakor, a sort of a Be'lakor,
Oh, hell yeah.
uh, that looks like a big old beast of chaos, organ, so sort of with
I was just
giant
saying,
wings. Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. I like that. That's pretty neat. I've seen the display board that he's been working on that's basically just home on the range.
Yes, that's also
Like
good.
it.
The big old barn.
He's gotten real good with his display boards. Putting Kyle Valdez to shame. Kyle can go big, but That's about all he does. This is a cool list. I like it. It's a little bit more spread out in terms of its like threat diversity and what it does. It's very interesting to me.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, cool. Chat's not doing anything interesting at the moment. Let's move on. We don't have that much left. We've actually been flying through chaos. We have Brant Dinsmore, who is apparently running Humongous's Thunderdome.
I think when he named that, he didn't know that he might be like overshined by James's list because
By James.
it's a similar game plan, but he opted for one less unit Vanguard and some support heroes to do some Antorian Acolytes nonsense.
He couldn't fully commit.
Which is a bit of a risk. Usually when you do Antorian Acolytes, you want to play them with some kind of screen
Yes.
or hammer or anvil unit to protect them. But these two Source Lords are just gonna be hanging out.
And he's got an Emerald Life Swarm, I guess, to try to just keep him topped off, help out the Vanguard, I guess.
Yeah, or it helps out Archeon. Archeon,
True.
once he's got a 5 ward, which is nice, but he can still take damage if you put a lot of it into him.
He does not like nasty hex. I know from experience. He does not like when you take his ward away.
I like the undivided marks. That's
Yes.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
Putting Chaotic Conduit on Archeon is a nice touch because Archeon will be flying up with the Vanguard and constantly casting Chaotic Conduit on the undivided ones
Yes.
to keep giving them buffs during the game.
Yep.
Um,
Really neat.
uh,
Interesting
Yeah.
to take the ensorcelled weapons on them over Fell Spears. But
Yeah, normally you take Ensorcelled with Nurgle, doing them undivided, giving them buffs like you were saying is a nice twist on this.
Mhm. Yeah. Otherwise, does what it's Knights of the Empty Throne. Interesting. He took Baron Icescape as his grand strat.
yep. I don't know what the Overlords of Chaos Battalion is. I'm going to assume it's like a free
It's got
run
all
in
the
charge or
Vanguard
something,
in
or like
there,
a run
so
or
it's,
something. Yeah.
yeah, it's something for the horses.
Yep. Baron Escape. That's a fun one. I've been playing more in my list. Just because people don't play a ton of artifacts. Just kill their artifact.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They normally have 1 or 2. Once that's said, you got it.
Yeah. But we've got Byron Thomas, probably our second Nurgle, probably our
Yep.
only other one. I would be surprised if any of the remaining like 3 or 4 lists were Nurgle. He's running my favorite sub faction in the book, Munificent Wanderers, with a Guo, Glotkin, Lord of Flick. Glotkin's 580 points. I didn't notice that with the last list. Man,
He's also been going down.
He's gotten real cheap.
He's
Okay.
cheap.
Eli, less shrooms, never. More shrooms. Lord of Plagues, and a Rotbringer Sorcerer with 20 Plague Bearers, 5 Blight Kings, and 10 Plague Bearers. With a
20
custom Emerald Life Swarm.
20 Plague Bearers, you never want to see that across the table. Just
No.
that's just a
You just
tar
want to
pit
leave it
here.
alone because
Yeah.
you know they're getting Fleshly Abundance. They're being a pain to kill.
Speaking good things. I love Munificent Wanderers. I like running 50 Plague Bearers in my Munificent Wanderers list.
Remind me what Munificent Wanderers does. I don't.
So as long as a Plague Bearer unit has at least 10 models in it, at the end of movement and at the end of combat phase, when they give disease, they give 2 disease instead of 1.
Oh, that's lovely.
The whole point of Munificent
Yeah.
Wanderers is to throw your Plague Bearers up the board, buff them up so that they don't die, and just and disease the hell out of your opponent.
So you literally just avoid that 20 block.
You say that, but the Glotkin is going to make that
Yeah, it's
hard
gonna make it
task.
hard.
Glotkin is going to funnel you into the Plague Bears. The Glotkin and the 5 Blight Kings are going to go around and Blight Krieg you, and whatever they don't hit, the Plague Bearers are going to try to swarm up.
You just blitzkrieg the Plague Bearers. That's
Yep.
for disease.
Yeah. And then the Life Swarm's great because it can bring back the Plague Bear to help keep topped off, or just help heal in addition to the healing that
And the Plague Bearers are also in Wizard Finders, which is a nice touch.
That is interesting, yeah.
Give them a 5-up save against spells, like so you can't try to like Blizzard off half the unit or something.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a cool.
And then let's not ignore the fact that there's also 3 little Nurgling at the bottom there. Also custom models, so it's very cool to see very curious to see what they are. Nurglings, very fun. Start off the board, show up on the opponent's side of the board next to terrain, get some extra contagion points.
I will say, going off of chat, this is the most life swarms I've seen in a long time.
This is the most life swarms, yeah. Very cool. Always love that endless spell. Just kind of got a little overshined this GHP.
Yeah, it's at 50, which I think is cheaper. Did it get cheaper?
It is cheaper. It used to be
Yeah,
60.
there you go.
The live form got cheaper, and Pendulum and Gemini's got more expensive. So,
Yep.
yeah, people are gonna juggle them around and try different stuff.
Yeah, which is cool. I like it. This is a list that it kind of makes me want to run. I've got most of this, so I might try this out very soon. Moving on, we've got Carter Hayes, Slaves to Darkness, Knights of the Empty Throne.
Look, we got more Vanguard. We got 15 Vanguard.
15 Vanguard.
15.
This is a nice list.
15 Fell Spears.
Because he's got the 6 block as a general, got another 6 block, and then a 3 block.
And really, just I think the real thorn in your side with this list is that Cockatrice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cockatrice
I immediately saw that. I was like, that's gonna be a problem. If that goes off, that's gonna be a problem.
That Cockatrice is gonna fly in behind a unit of 6 and charge in with them, so that you just can't kill any of them.
You can't. You're not gonna be able to do anything. And then you got 5 Chaos chosen with Nurgle that are gonna do stuff because they're chosen. And the Nurgle with the eroding icon means they're actually gonna be hard to kill.
Somehow this is a 1-drop too with all the
Yeah, it's got all the battle line.
Yeah. 1, 2,
Everything.
3, 4, 5, and yep.
It's 5 troops and 3 heroes. It fits. The Vanguard are both leader and battle line. Like, it's fantastic.
Yeah, the allied Cockatrice or coalition Cockatrice is something I've been trying to sneak into any chaos lists I build.
Just spice.
It against other melee armies.
It can do so much for 120 points.
Yes.
It's one of those like game-changing 4-up rolls. Like it's a 4-up roll. But if they make it, just like your unit's just not going to do anything for combat.
Literally just
congrats. You're hitting on 6s. Have fun.
It's called Petrifying Gaze for a reason.
Yeah.
And if you're petrified on the turn one of those 6 blocks of Vanguards go in, you might as well just pick them up off the table. They're done. And with that, we're done with the chaos lists. We have a nice sneaky surprise. A list that wasn't put in yesterday. The one and only Night Haunt army making
Let's
an
go.
appearance.
Oh, only one?
Only one.
It means the only faction we're missing, if you don't count Bone Splitters, because who does, is Zinch.
Bone Splitter, that's not an army. Bone Splitter's not a real army.
No. But I mean, technically, we have a Bone Splitters model. There's one Bone Splitters model in the tournament.
Yeah.
That's it. That's just
so there you
honorary.
The army's here because the army,
Yeah.
the army is that one model.
It's a bone that's been thrown to Warclands. But yes, we have a Night Hunt army. It is Emerald Host with Control the Nexus. It is the Hex Wraith list. It's got a Knight of Shrouds on it.
Wait, did we miss a list? Yeah, we
missed
missed the list. Where's Swope's list?
Where's Swope's list? I didn't see Swope's list.
He's playing Slaanesh and we skipped it.
Yo, did you not put Swope's list in here? Control F. Gonna find it. I don't see it. It's not here. Joe has failed us.
Boo, Joe.
Okay, before we go on to that, you know what? Here, we're gonna save Nick for last. Let's finish up this Night Haunt list.
Yeah.
So we've got a bunch of Hex Wraiths, which are just gonna move around the board super fast, making it hard to interact with. It's got 10 Reapers, Reikenor, and Nagash. I don't know how much Nagash exactly does in this list, but he's got Nagash.
Yeah, I keep trying to play Nagash again, but without the machine gun arcane bolts, he's just become the most expensive support piece there is.
Yep.
Which in some armies I think that's decent. I think OBR and Soulblight, there's a lot of really good spells he can make use of. And Night Haunt, he's just gonna teleport around and give stuff wards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid. It works, but like you said, he's an 860 point support hero, and his usefulness mostly lives and dies by the spell lore.
I mean, these hex rates are gonna keep coming back. That is something.
Mhm.
They're going to be almost impossible to kill.
But the problem is you don't really have anything behind them to do damage after the pass. Aside from Nagash maybe hand of dusting something big.
Yeah.
Yeah, but without the mirror,
Yeah,
for
without portal.
Nagashi's, yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
be tough.
Anyway, respect for bringing the Night Haunt list, Scott. Now we got to get to the lone forgotten man. I don't have it in the document, but actually, I might be able to add it real quick. Hold everybody. I'm in BCP. I can, in fact, just copy and paste. We can do this live on the air. Copy. Go to Discord. Hold, please, everybody. If I have edit privileges, we are good to go. Nope, I don't have edit privileges, so we're just gonna read this straight up. All right, guys. Here's Nick's crazy ride. He's running God Seekers from Hedonites of Slanesh, the only person still left running this little dumb army. Selfish Desires is grand strat, which I believe is the one where you want to have 36 depravity at the end of the game.
No, Selfish Desires just don't summon.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that's the don't summon one. I had a 50-50 shot.
That's the
taking
free
that
one. That's the
Yeah.
you get it.
His general is a Keeper of Secrets with Hunter Supreme and the Shining Aegis for the 5 of Ward, and the Girdle of the Realm Racer for the You have live updates? Is it on the screen now? We can
Yep.
get it on the screen now. I'm still reading from the app because I can. Artifact, Girdles of the Realm Racer with Path of the Dark Race. I'm going to admit I've never seen Godseekers across from me on the table except for when Dylan was running
Okay,
forward
so
keepers.
the command trait Hunter Supreme, if that keeper makes a charge, you can't pile in if you're within 3 of it.
Ooh.
And he gets +1 to attacks on the charge.
Okay.
And I believe Girdle the Realm Racer is a 3d6 charge, if I recall.
Oh, that's pretty spicy when I think
That's
Godseekers
cool.
basically gives you like a bunch of extra
Wait,
moves.
no, I'm sorry. That's the spell.
Oh, that's the spell.
The artifact is a 6-inch pile-in. and
Ooh, that's cool.
flying.
This
So
is a spicy combat keeper. I like
basically,
it.
this keeper goes wherever it wants to. It'll move fast. It'll charge or just pile into you.
This keeper is going to be basically hard to escape from. And then on top of that, we've also got Siggy, little Sigvald himself, and Sileski. Talk about just a pair of unique heroes. Speed running into its own death. Yes, very much so.
Yeah, Sigvald's got that +3 to charge again. Silesk will be giving everything +1 to hit and wound, I think.
I believe you're correct.
As long as he manages to balance out how many demons and mortals he has within 18 of them.
Yeah.
And it also has a no commands spell, which is always handy. Yeah.
Tired of no commands.
Yeah, you
It's
can't redeploy if you're within 9. You pick
it's a
one
fun
of your
spell to
heroes.
bring out against OBR these days. Now that they've stopped playing No Myriad as much, make them regret doing that. And he's got the demon battle line so that he can balance out.
So you can balance out Celeste. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seekers, 2 units of Demonettes.
Yeah. So how many demons has he got here? He's got the Keeper. He's got the 3 battle line. So that's 4. and then he's got
Sick Blade, Seekers, and
about
Blissbark
4
Seekers,
other
or are those
mortals. Looks
mortals?
like, yeah.
Yeah. One
Yeah,
unit
And
is a
like
Seeker.
it's just within 18, so if he needs to, like, his Seekers are fast, and so if he needs to juggle it, he can have one of them just dip out of the bubble to give everyone else +1/+1.
and that's a 10
Nick,
block of Sick Blade Seekers too.
yeah. Nick says he's got more demons than mortals, so yeah, he can just get those demons out of range of Celeste and keep that.
Yeah,
Keep that
those
balance.
Seeker battle line are probably just gonna wrap the side of the table and do Surround and Destroy anyway. So
Yep.
and he's
And
got
then
the
he's
War
also
Shrine
got
there to give you
yeah
another 3d6 charge, so you can give like Sigvald a 3d6 +3 charge.
the
And
heal's
yeah,
nice. Heal prayer is pretty good.
yeah, that's also great too.
No, no Glutos. No -1 to help to be defensive. He is
This
pure
is God
offense here.
Seekers. You're not hanging
Yeah,
around that long.
this is all offensive.
the narrative is
It's
run in
all
and die.
instances. The Keeper and Sigvald are going to d6 move before the game starts, and then they're gonna 3d6 charge or just run right into you.
And then the Sick Blades are going to get run charge and be 20
Yeah,
inches, hit you too.
Slick Blades are already super fast, so
They're gonna
they don't.
go so far, so fast, just to die before they do anything.
Hey, they're going to hit something.
They're gonna do something.
They're gonna hit
Sigvald's gonna
something.
strike. Sigvald's gonna strike first, and then either the Keeper's gonna let them attack again right away, or the Slick Blades will hit something.
I hope his Sigvald actually does something, because the last few games that I've seen Sigvald, which hasn't been much, he runs into a unit, does no damage, and then immediately dies. Which is not what I was billed on, and I'm disappointed.
He does a
So I
lot
hope
of it's like Ren 2 damage attacks, I think, or Ren 3. I don't remember what his Ren is, but
I think it's Ren 2.
he can
Sigvald is to kill a god on the first turn and get me a drink.
he'll get a lot of attacks,
Respect.
but like he has a 4-up ward, but he still is only 6 wounds. That's just 12 damage.
He's got a 4 ward, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
6 damage, but you can't negate any of the damage that he does, right?
Yeah, no wards against what he does.
Pretty good.
He'll run up and
That's
punk.
really good now with
he'll-
bodyguards
Yeah.
no longer also being able to be done with that. Ooh. Sigvald stocks up. Okay. Okay. This is cool. Mad respect, Nick, for you still bringing out Slanesh in these times. However, I do expect you to bring the 11 pig list Smash and Bash. This can't stand. You cannot bring this in April. I full demand on the pork. But with that, we are actually done. Unless there's another list that we missed, in which case I will lambast Joe again.
I don't think there is.
I think that's it.
all the ones I saw earlier.
All right. Discount Iron Jaws, yes. With that, we appreciate everybody who joined in for us. Hopefully, we were a little bit shorter than last night's was. I tried not to have us drag out too much. For those of you that are in the chat, once again, we have the $50 gift card, quote unquote, to battleworks.com to get all your accessories, get those sweet new movement trays, get those gaming aids that you're looking for. If you chat in the chat, you have a chance to get one. If you chatted yesterday, you have a chance to get one as well. However, you can only win one. You'll win one either yesterday or today. You're not going to win 2 gift cards. No one's walking out with $100, just 50. Chris, Isaac, thank you for coming on. I think we're going to close this out. This has been very fun. A lot of really cool lists. I guess I have to go back and watch yesterday's stream to figure out what the other half of this competition looks like. It's going to be very fun. If you're not going to play, but you're going to be around, cool. Come by, say hi. Obviously, I'm going to be playing Seraphon. But it's going to be a blast. Lone Star this weekend. Smash and Bash coming up next month. Those tickets will go on sale on Monday. We've only got
there's also
50 tickets.
a doubles tournament going on Friday night. That sounds like I'm not playing at that, but that sounds like it's gonna be a good time.
That's true. There is a doubles tournament. I cannot play in it. For those of you that are playing in it, good luck. Have fun. I will join y'all for at least a drink and some fun there. It's gonna be really cool. Pick our winners. Isaac, out of all the lists, I don't know if you watched yesterday, but who do you think's gonna win?
Let's say 7 pigs.
7 pigs?
7 pigs.
All right, Chris, who do you think's gonna win?
I don't know. As much as I want to choose something jokey, uh, Kel's been tearing it up with his feck lately down
How
here.
dare he? He's the villain. My pick is James West. He's gonna take it all the way with Archeon and 12 Varangard and blow the world apart. It's gonna be fantastic. This has been DaWeirdcast Part 2 Lone Star List Review. And with that, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Chris and Isaac, for joining. Once again, please go to battleworks.com. I have no part in how that actually works. I just like their products. My friends are really cool at designing stuff. If you're going to be in town, come say hi this weekend. Otherwise, it's been DaWeirdcast, and we will see you later. Who just followed us? Before we shut off, shout out Die Already, please. Thank you for following us. If you like what we're doing and you want to see more of it, follow us at Twitter, on Twitter at DaWeirdcast, where you can see Joe typo out some stuff and see correctly typed out things from Jeff and or Spencer. You can follow us here on Twitch. Eventually, we'll get emotes and subscriptions and shit like that out, and that'll work as well. You can follow me at 16ER Ramos personally for the sparingly hot takes or just my rants that Kislev is not coming to Old World anytime soon. Otherwise, we love you. It's been fun. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye, y'all.